You want to see my balls? Hello and welcome, my beautiful movie peeps, to another glorious Friday live stream where I am holding the pumpkin balls. That's the comic accurate name for these things. And we are going to be discussing so much movie news. The amount of movie news I'm going to provide to you is almost unfathomable, unreal. Some will look at the laundry list of things I'm about to give you and say, that's not a lot. That's not, but they would be lying to you. They'd be delusional, and we should lock them all away in an asylum because we got tons of crazy things. Gonna be the longest live stream ever. I know it. I can feel it. Hello, my beautiful peeps. So good to see you here. It is a glorious day. It is a nice, brand new day because of everything Spider-Man related. And it feels like all the other movie news just cowered away into the corner because they didn't they knew they could not compete with Spider-Boy. So really, that's mainly what we're going to be talking about here today. I have literally 3 topics in the description right now because that's all Papa could come up with right before this stream. But the Spider-Man stuff is definitely going to be something we're going to be discussing for a bit in this stream. So just listing off the couple of things we do got to talk about here is, for one, Conjuring 3 trailer just dropped yesterday. I'll give you my thoughts on that. A Quiet Place 3, they just announced the release date for it. We could speculate about what that movie's going to end up looking like. And Spider-Man 4, because although they dropped that little suit teaser that already have a video up on the channel, check it out. Talked way too fast, ran out of breath there. They still decided to reveal some new cast members, confirming the Hulk, confirming Scorpion, what they're all going to be doing. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be litty. And we're going to discuss it all here today, my beautiful peeps. Let me see what some of y'all are saying in the chat. How many times in a day? I plead the fifth on that one. Spider-Man Day. Hey, happy to have you here, Victor. That's my father's name. My father is named Victor. This is what I've grown as a channel, and I just must be happy with it. With great power, Cole's great booty. Cole's has booty? Is that what the Cole's cash is for? I always wondered. Now I know when I go to Cole's. Hey, take me to the back. I know what you guys really got. My chatters let me in on it. All right, so I'm gonna need you guys to give me more topics. I can't just be posting 3 videos on the Clips channel after this stream. So I am gonna need you to send in your best questions. Hopefully they can be long enough to make more clips, because if I just end up making 3, that ain't gonna cut it, okay? Papa would like to buy the Spider-Man cosplay suit whenever that comes out, and I need the cheddar for it. I need the cheddar. All right. Let's see. Let's just begin. Let's just start talking about some stuff and see what Papa's can come up with as we go along. So let's start off with this Conjuring 3 trailer. Okay, so the Conjuring 3, it is fast approaching, and it is going to be the final Conjuring film. At the final main Conjuring movie. There is still plans to continue the Conjuring universe in spin-off form. I'm sure they got like the Nun 3 right around the corner. I think they should make it a versus film. I'm not even kidding. Just go up, have the Nun versus Annabelle, and let's see who twerks better, right? Like that I think is what could happen in that movie. But they're definitely thinking about that. They got the Crooked Man that could still end up happening. Tons of other stuff. HBO did announce they had the Conjuring TV show, but there's like been no development or things with that. Just something they announced like 3 years ago, and still no updates. But all right, we have the Conjuring Last Rites, right? And first I want to talk about this poster. The poster for the movie, tragedy. Tragedy. This is the actual official poster for Conjuring Last Rites. And I want to talk to whoever thought this was what they wanted. What happened to the art of posters, man? Like, I know I'm a YouTuber and it's so hypocritical for me to say it. Hang on here. But to me, posters nowadays are YouTube thumbnails. That's all they are. The floating head posters, that is the clickbait of YouTube thumbnail movie posters, because it's just look at this star, look at that star, look at this star, look at that star. Come watch our movie. This this was made 5 seconds when the intern had a potty break at Warner Brothers, cuz I don't know what it is. All right, Patrick, we're going to need you to put your hand up, okay? And now just scream really loud. Just scream. All right, Vera Farmiga, I need you to just do a scared face, like you don't like what Patrick is yelling at. Somebody's gonna edit those two versions and put it together on the Reddit later. That's gonna be fun to look at. I'm not a fan of this poster. I wish it was a little bit better. I wish it was nicer. I'm looking for the one person in the chat that probably likes it. Dude, the other ones are cool. I agree. Let's look at the other Conjuring posters. What are the Conjuring posters have looked like so far? The Conjuring poster. Okay, so this pretty much it has an iconic feel to it. Simple, good enough. I like the little play with the shadow hanging himself. You know, the shadows had a tough time. Hopefully he got through it. I forgot what happens in the movie, but I think in the post-credit scene, the shadow got a job in an accounting office. So he's gonna be all right. Thank goodness. But that's a cool poster. Like, that's a nice one. I like what was happening there. This is another one with Annabelle just looking back at you going, you buying a ticket? You getting one? I'm gonna do some creepy stuff. You're gonna want in on this. They're fine. This is, I think, where we started like meddling into okay, all right territory. Like it's fine. Don't even want to talk about them Conjuring 3. Was this a real Conjuring 3 poster? I feel like this it's hard to tell nowadays what are the fan made ones and what are the real ones. I actually didn't mind this silhouette. Honestly, this is miles better. The third Conjuring poster, as opposed to what we just got, this is way better. So like these have been the 3 main posters for the series. All of them walk this latest one, man. I was very disappointed with that being the new poster, but whatever, right? Okay, so that was the poster. And then they revealed the full-length trailer. And man, I'm still very excited for the movie, and I'm hoping they nail it, because I think the main motivation for making the fourth Conjuring movie was that the third Conjuring film, one, came out during the pandemic, so it didn't get to make as big of a splash as they would like, but also it was kind of an unmemorable movie. It wasn't even like it was a bad film. It was just kind of like a movie that happened to exist, and it was just going through the motions and didn't have much to add. This feels like they want to make some sort of definitive end for the Warrens and cap it off. The main thing that actually interested me about this trailer, because I don't think there was a lot of scares or thrills that made me go, "Ooh, that seems like a good setup. That seems like it's going to be a good jump scare." Definitely love the red lights, but the thing to me that I was like, okay, that's fascinating, is this demon or monster that's going after them in this movie was actually the first demon or the first case of the Warrens. They were so petrified, so scared at that time, they just dipped. So I can't. I hate to be the family that hired them. You're paranormal investigators. Oh, okay. I need your. Where'd they go? They dipped. They ran away, and they're like, "Oh, that was a crazy one, honey. How about we just fake them from now on, okay? How about we just say we do it? Cause that was too real." I don't think they faked it. I have a little bit of believability in this stuff. Who knows if it's real or not? I like to think some of it is real. Why not? You know, miracles happen. The dark stuff should be able to happen too. No? Yes? Maybe? Who's with me? So that's the part that got me. Wow, that's a close-up shot right there, buddy. Um, so that's really the only part, but nothing else about it really spoke to me. It felt very paint by the numbers, just kind of going through the motions. Lot of flashbacks of just faces and all. Look at this. What is Zeus came down in a wig? Oh, dude, I wonder why James Wan didn't want to come back. He just felt done with this. Like, it's so funny how big of a difference James Wan makes with these movies, because those first 2 Conjuring films, miles better than the only other Conjuring films outside of James Wan was Annabelle Creation, where David F. Sandberg directed. I thought I was actually a pretty dang scary Conjuring movie. And what was the other one? There was one more I thought was decent. That might have actually have been it. Well, I didn't mind, what was it, the third Annabelle? It was all right. I still like the second Annabelle better, but the one with the museum, kind of night at the museum feel, I thought that one was kind of fun. So we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna see it, but I'm just more interested to see how they want to continue this universe now that they're closing the war in chapter. I don't think this is the end. We saw in the first teaser trailer they had like a younger Ed and Lorraine Warren. I'm thinking that's the future of the franchises. Get some young actor, some Noah Centineo and Sydney Sweeney, and be like, "It's Ed and Lorraine Warren when they were young," and then just have them do random little adventures like that. I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. So, you guys let me know. I know I'm being a little sour on it. I'm still excited. I'm still curious, but man, nothing about this is making me go, "Ooh, this is going to be it. This is going to be the one. They're going to end it off strong." I'm just kind of watching this trailer going, "There's potential. There's potential." But yeah, you guys let me know. You guys let me know. All right, let's move on to talk about A Quiet Place 3. So, believe it or not, today out of nowhere, they decided to confirm, announce, and give us a release date for A Quiet Place 3. Here we go, baby. So it says Quiet Place 3, John Krasinski returning to direct, write, and produce, set for summer of 2027. So the same year we get the Batman Part 2, we get A Quiet Place 3. Now, remember, this is in the main Conjuring universe. I mean, oh my, oh, separate that a little bit. This is in the main Quiet Place timeline. We just had A Quiet Place Day 1. That is kind of like their spin-off stories where I don't even know I don't think they're going to continue the Day 1 storyline, but I feel like there's still more potential where they could do like Quiet Place Day 100, and it could be just random people. Quiet Place Day 50, it could be some other people somewhere else. Like, that feels like spin-off movies are still possible, but this is again going back to the family and those kids that we've been following since the first movie, right? Okay, let me see if there's anything interesting. The four-time Prime Emmy, nothing about the actual plot that might be going down. So we're gonna have to be speculating a lot on what goes down here. Quiet Place Day 1 prequel. Oh wow, and John Krasinski just revealed a little photo. That's about it. Okay, so no plot details to go off of, but all right, if you've watched the movie so far, you know what's happened. John Krasinski died. I still think in kind of the most heartbreaking but funniest ways possible. Could I even find that? I always love watching the Quiet Place Death We. Please tell me it's on here. I doubt I'm going to be able to find it. There was somebody who edited in the Wii sound effect whenever John Krasinski's character died, and I thought it was the funniest thing. Because if you remember that scene, it was Krasinski. He was like, and someone just edited in the sound effect of the Wii menu. I died laughing. I don't I don't know who made that, but somebody made that. It was so funny to me. Okay, so he died. Then we had the second movie that I was like, can they make it work without Krasinski? He was such a vital character. It was so fun to watch, and the survival of the family. I really would have liked to seen it. But then they had Cillian Murphy, Digimon, I forget the other actor's name, but we had that village of people that were on the island living about. And the kids like went through a lot, dude. Like this kid got his leg trapped by a bear trap early on. Them, I was like, ah, oh, that was one of those movie scenes that made you go, dang. So what happens now? By the end of this movie, they have figured out the weakness for these things, which is the high frequency. They put it on a radio that probably has helped a lot of communities or people out there. I think the thing you do now is you take a time jump, right? Because the first two movies were pretty close to one another. I think they like both within like a week apart of each other. I think you do like a 5-6 year time jump, and maybe we're getting to the point where we actually have a fighting chance with these things. We're getting rid of them. And here's what I'm gonna say: you introduce an evolved version. You introduce a new type of Quiet Place monster that is upper on the food. Maybe doesn't have the weakness of the high frequency. Maybe it's evolved in itself. I don't know what else you do, because there's like, it's that question of, do you want those answers or do you like the mystery? And the Quiet Place Day 1 only really answered one question I've always wondered about them, and that was it, which is they're not feeding on us. These monsters, these things, they're not eating people. You've always wondered, is that why they're killing us? Because we're just like just a feeding source for them? No, they're just killing us for the fun of it because they show in A Quiet Place Day One, they feed on these weird neon egg sac type things, and that's their food supply. So it's like, okay, then why do they feel the need to kill us? Who sent them here? Is there someone else involved? Do we want those questions answered? Do we go there? Or does that get too sci-fi, too weird? And it kind of takes away some of the fun of the universe. That's always the question. How much do you tiptoe into crossing that line? I don't know. I'm all right with it. I think you still need to do an early flashback at the opening of the movie, and I'm sure John Krasinski will do something like that. It'll probably tie into the theme of the overall movie, so he could, in the second film, although he's dead, it showed us what he did the first day these things arrived. I'd like to see day 10, day 20. Him making that little trail of sand to the village, baby proofing the house, doing stuff like that. I think you could do stuff like that and still include them into the story, but that's what I think you should do. Time jump, introduce a new evolved version of the Quiet Place monster, and expand the lore a little bit. You don't have to go full on now and take away the entire mystery, but I think a little bit more would be fascinating. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's see. Well, that was literally like my last topic before Spider-Man talk. I burned through those, buddy. I burned through those. Let me see a little bit of things that you guys have to say in the chat before I talk some Spider-Man. Because once I talk Spider-Man, it's over. But I see a lot of people asking for Bambi review. I do plan to watch it. I'm just gonna be honest with you. This weekend is extremely busy for me. Got some personal stuff to do. And so I'm not gonna say I'm doing it this weekend. I told you I was in contact with the people. They were gonna send me a whatchamacallit, a screening link for it because I was having a hard time finding the movie being shown in my area. And they said they were gonna send it to me, and then they never did. And then I messaged them back, and they're like, "Oh yeah, 1 sec," and still haven't gotten it. But I do plan to see it. If worse comes to worse, and it doesn't happen this week, I promise during Spook Your Mama month. But I've actually heard interesting things, so I do want to watch it. But yeah, that's it for the people asking in the chat. Bambi review, Bambi review. There you go. Some people want the Welcome to Derry talk. I did see that in the chat. We did have the Welcome to Derry trailer, right? Again, didn't seem all that much. Just a little tease of what's his name? Of Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise. Definitely caught my attention. I am curious about how much it goes. I did see some people going, "Did you see they confirmed that Shawshank and Shining are in this world?" You must not watch a lot of Stephen King stuff. That's just always been a thing. Almost all the Stephen King movies, the fans think of it that they all take place in the same universe, and there's tons of Easter eggs to like the Shawshank Prison or the Shining Hotel, all that stuff. So that's always been a thing. It's not that huge of a deal, and they're just Easter eggs to Stephen King as a whole. But man, this let me know they're keeping the design. They're keeping the design for Pennywise. That for sure had me like, oh, okay. I thought maybe we're gonna go with a bit of a changed up look. If you guys remember Pennywise, what would I consider early design? What would you call it? Early design? Is that even the way to call it? Because they had that moment in the second It movie where he has like the makeup scratched on his face. Let's see, Pennywise prequel design. Let's see if that'll actually pop it up. Oh, look, there's my little YouTube video. Okay, this look. I thought maybe they would do something like that or mix it up a bit, since he's most kind of a shape-shifting monster. I thought maybe they'd play into it, but no, they're just like, hey, this is what you're used to. This is what you like, and that's what he's going to end up looking like. But let's see how much screen time he actually gets, man. I'm not holding my breath. I feel like they could do the thing where he's in it for like 2 or 3 episodes, and he's mainly only in like the last episode, but every other episode he's in it for like 5 seconds as a dream sequence, I could see that maybe being the case. Yeah, K-pop, Eyes of Wakanda. I still want to watch. Is that like out fully now? Eyes of Wakanda. I do want to watch that. Outside of X-Men 97, I don't have much of an interest in other animated Marvel, because I wasn't a big fan of What If. I thought What If was kind of eh. And this has like been the first thing outside of X-Men 97, all that that's actually interested me. So that came out today. Is all 4 episodes out, or is it just like one or two? I do want to see that. I wonder if it's good. What's the score on it? Are people liking it? Let's see. 6.5 out of 10. Oh lordy. Unsurprisingly, Eyes of Wakanda has been added at the very first project. I do want to see it. Squanders its promise. No. So it seems like some people are not liking it. Oh. A feast for the eyes that's over too soon. It is so weird the time we live in, thanks to streaming, that you can have a full season of something that is 4 episodes long. And the potential behind this is so cool. Like, is that not a badass idea? Just seeing the Black Panthers of different eras and the missions that they've gone through over time. Like, that's a show that should just write itself. And if they mess that up in 4 episodes, dude, I don't know what else you could do, Marvel. I don't know what else you could do. Someone said no, it's crap. Oh, 0 out of 4. Oh, jeez. That's not good. That's not good. All right. Here, this is the question I'll answer before I go into the Spider-Man stuff. Well, the Gremlins 3 I did talk about in the recent side flick. So if you wanna go check that out, I did give you my opinion on that. Somebody was asking about Twisted Metal, which, believe it or not, I did watch the first 2 episodes. Let me give you my thoughts on that. So if you guys don't know, Twisted Metal TV show on the Peacock. I laughed at this show because of all the trailers and all the weird things, and I thought they looked cringe. I know I'm cringe. If I say something looks cringe, you know I'm being honest. These trailers, the promotion, everything. Season 1 was a lot of fun. It's not like the best show out there. It's not anything like that. But once you power through the first 2 episodes, the entire first season of the first Twisted Metal, whole bunch of fun. Actually embraces like the dumb campiness of the Twisted Metal video games, has a bit of fun with it, doesn't take itself too seriously, and I enjoyed it enough to where I was excited for season 2. They've dropped the first 3 episodes for season 2, and so far it's about as much fun and as the same. The first episode is fun. Second episode was a little slower, but the third episode, I don't even think it's a spoiler because I mean, but they showed them in the trailers. In the third episode, they finally introduced one of my favorite, not even my favorite, just one of the characters I never thought they'd bring live action. They introduced frickin' Axel. Axel is in the game. The character whose entire character is 2 wheels and a T-pose. He's kind of the main threat for episode 3. I'm assuming he's going to be a bigger part because this season they're leading to the tournament. So right now we're being introduced to all the different characters, all the different people, and they are having fun with it. There's one character who in the video games is a little supernatural. Like his thing in the game is like anytime he kills somebody, he takes their soul and then he has that personality added to him. And I love the way the show played with that because it makes you think he is supernatural because you see all these weird supernatural things and him sucking in a soul and all that. And then you find it's just him in his head and he's crazy. They cut to him doing that and people just looking at him. He's like, oh, and everybody's like, what is this guy? And then he just pretends to absorb the soul. He was a lot of fun. His backstory in the show, crazy for the this is a I'm not I don't even know how else this he's a Nazi experiment basically, guys. Axel was created by someone like that, and it's so funny because they're like, you're racist, and the guy swears up, I'm not racist. No, my friends are black. What? This was just experiment. What are you talking? It was actually very funny. Well done. I'm liking the show. I still recommend Twisted Metal to you guys. Like I said, it's not like anything amazing or standout, but I am just shocked with with what they are able to do and how they bring to life some of these characters. And there's always like an obstacle or a thing they have to do per episode, so there's enough action, there's enough things going on. I think Anthony Mackie is a fun character to watch and makes the cheesiness of it work. So first 3 episodes have gone by pretty cool. I recommend it. All right. Let's see. What else we got going? All right, so now let's just get into talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day. So, as you guys saw, let's put it up for us. Spider-Man 4. Oh, geez, what the heck? All right. So, Spider-Man 4. Oh, guys, today was a glorious, awesome day because Spider-Man has officially begun filming on the streets of Glasgow. In fact, right now, there's a very good chance as we're talking about this, we could get set photos revealed of Spider-Man himself. So all day today or all week they have been preparing the streets of Glasgow for Spider-Man, right? We've been seeing them, which it still blows my mind that it's cheaper to fly a bunch of crew members, a bunch of Americans or people like that who work on the sets, take them over there, go to a UK street, tear down their signs, tear down their flags, and then start making it look like New York as opposed to just filming in New York. It's way more expensive to just go and do it actual New York than doing it here, which I always find so funny. But along with that, the reason everybody was like, well, aren't we supposed to get the suit today? And that's why Sony, put out that little suit reveal teasing us what the new suit was going to look like. From the word on the street is that the scene is supposed to take place during the night. So they're actually waiting for it to get dark over there, and then they could probably bring out Tom Holland. So as we're talking about this, we could actually be getting our first photo. But until then, along with the reveal of the suit, they finally dropped a confirmation of a couple of the characters in the movie. And man, it's just nice because it was a rumor for a while, and now it's fully confirmed. Starting off with Mark Ruffalo returning as the Hulk in Spider-Man 4. I talked about this. I told you guys it was reported by Nexus Point, which to me I think is a very reliable source. Almost everything they report on ends up becoming true, and they reported on the Hulk months ago. And now here it is finally confirmed. We don't have to speculate because so far we only got confirmed the Punisher was in it. And now we know Hulk is coming in, which I'm still shocked. Those are the two characters in this movie. We heard about this like at the beginning of the year because I think John Roca was the one who also said that he heard it. And we were like, Punisher and Hulk? Okay, buddy, let's go back to that rumor with Mephisto and Ghost Rider. We believe that one much more. And I did at the time. But this ended up being the right one. Now, in this article, they also confirm another villain that we've been wanting to see for 8 years. It says here, at the same time, Michael Mando, known for his work on Better Call Saul, is returning to reprise his role as Scorpion, the villain character who he first played in Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017. It's insane that a character that was teased almost 8 years ago is finally getting fulfilled and brought to the big screen with Scorpion. So I want to talk about this before I get to the Hulk stuff. I love the idea of Scorpion coming in here for a couple of reasons. One, to me, he is a classic Spider-Man villain. We've been hearing a lot of other characters that'll be popping up in Spider-Man Brand New Day, from Tarantula, which I probably misspelled, and Boomerang, right? These are characters that are essentially confirmed because of the comic book covers that we see in the director's office. Boomerang here and Tarantula there, where Kevin Feige did tell us in Destin's office, he's got these comic covers and he's going to recreate them. So Kevin Feige ended up spoiling Spider-Man himself. But Boomerang and Tarantula, to me, are not classic characters. They're not in that echelon of like go-to Spider-Man villains. Scorpion to me is. He's someone that I've known since I was little. I had a Scorpion toy when I was a kid, and I would mash them together, possibly make them kiss. I'm not telling you what I was doing with my toys, but I was like also, finally, a classic Spider-Man villain that hasn't been done in the movies that Tom Holland can make his own, because that's kind of what he's been in the shadow of. Tom Holland has not gotten his own Doc Ock, his own Norman Osborn, his own Electro, his own Lizard, his own Green Goblin. None of those figures, because they ended up becoming multiverse characters that show up and are just the carryover villains from the other Spider-Man, which is fine. But I would love for Tom Holland to have his own, because look at the Vulture, Michael Keaton. That is a Spider-Man villain for him now, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if they bring back Vulture. We're forgetting about all that Morbius stuff. I still think my theory about now that Vulture has forgotten Peter's identity, he goes back to hating Spider-Man. Because Peter Parker is the part of the Vulture where he's like, I like that guy. He was okay to me. And why he didn't give up the identity of him to Scorpion. But now that he don't remember Peter, I think he goes back to hating Spider-Man. Just my thought. So that's kind of one of the reasons. And we just saw in the animated show that they came out this year, the Scorpion can be threatening, dude. Scorpion, if done right, can be scary for Spider-Man, can be a real big threat. I still wonder if they're going to go with the classic comic origin, where J. Jonah Jameson is kind of like the one who funds the suit for this Scorpion. If you remember in the post-credit scene, which a lot of people don't remember, he actually has his arm broken in that scene. If you go back and watch that scene, his entire arm is broken. So I feel like part of his vendetta could be maybe Scorpion's arm just doesn't work unless it's in a mechanical suit. And it's part of the reason he like hates Spider-Man. He's like, you left me with this injury and scar. I want my revenge, you know? So we'll see. We'll see on that front. If we get on to talking about the Hulk, okay. Another thing that I think is kind of interesting. Okay, hang on, guys. Let me see here. What is going on in the chat? People keep telling me to ban some guy named Hot Wheels. Why are we banning this guy? What's he doing? I need an explanation in the chat here. All right, let me see here. Ban him for what? I don't even know what's going on. He's hating. Hating is fine as long as it's okay. Soup and leak. Don't lie to me. New suit was leak. You're lying. All the chat saying suit is leak. You're lying. You're lying. I'm gonna fall for it every time. Don't let me. I don't see nothing. You guys are lying to me. I don't see anything. W bait. There we go. All right. We're gonna have to cut all this out in the clip, but let's get back to the topic here. So with Mark Ruffalo's the Hulk, I've said this before. Growing up as a kid, before the MCU was a thing, all that, at least in my generation, we didn't have Iron Man, Cap America's big heroes. And so a lot of the people we went to were like Spider-Man and Hulk. I'm gonna just put Spider-Man and Hulk 2003. Let's see what these right here were like the thing. If the internet was a thing. So people back then were always like, let's put these two together, making little mashups like this. People wanted Spider-Man and Hulk because that's just what they were seeing. They were looked at as the two kind of biggest heroes, and people always imagined them going together. Like the iconography of having Hulk and Spider-Man together was always there, and people have wanted it. And so it is kind of awesome to know that we are going to be getting that in some sort of capacity. I think Hulk and Spider-Man, just from a visual standpoint, look really cool with one another. Envisioning how Spider-Man can fight the Hulk, because that is a good fight. Spider-Man is so fast and agile and can move around, and the Hulk is very big and kind of slow at swinging. It would be really cool to see that fight go down however they do it, because that's usually what happens. And even in this article, the Hollywood Reporter speculates about that being the case. Saying here, the plot details are being kept under the vest, but you can bet that in the mighty Marvel manner, Spider-Man, Punisher, and Hulk will fight one another before figuring out what the real bad guys are. Now, I want to emphasize this because some people are passing this little part of the article like fact. This is the journalist speculating and assuming based on what Marvel has done with other properties. This is not a confirmation that Spider-Man, Punisher, and Hulk will fight, but if you go to any issue, any cartoon, any movie, usually when you have multiple heroes, they have a bit of a tussle and then they become friends to fight a bigger threat. It's like the tale as old as time, right? So it can pretty much be assumed that's what will happen. But it just sucks that Hulk and Spider-Man in this MCU have never interacted. They have no chemistry. They have no reason to talk to each other. I do wonder what is going to be the organic reason for these characters to talk. And what is Hulk doing in New York? Is that where he usually lives? Is that where he spends his time? People speculated maybe he's a teacher. That's what I would go with. Then he could actually be Professor Hulk. Maybe they got to pay the bills too. But if we've seen all the other post-credit scenes when he's like helping out Captain Marvel and Shang-Chi figure out this Kang device thing that's no longer important, it's like, well, It feels like that's his job really, and then he's not gonna be doing much. Sorry, I have my Galactus bucket underneath me. Don't ask why, but it lit up, and I don't want that battery to drain. Shut up! I figured out how to open the mouth. Um, so really, that's kind of uh my thing with it is I hope they develop that reason good. I can't wait to see why. Now, with the Punisher in there, people are already laughing and making jokes about how the Punisher is going to even fight this version of the Hulk. Even with Smart Hulk, it's still a thing that would be very tricky. And here I gave kind of like a visual of how I envision the Punisher and Hulk fight going down. So let me just bring this up here on the screen for you. Let me know if you guys can see this really well. That's how that's going to go down. That's how it's going to happen. Hulk smash. Wait. No. Wait. Pussed out his AK, taking one bullet, and then running. That's all that's going to happen. I am so curious. What happens? What's is the Punisher going after the Hulk? I already seen some people speculate that's what will happen, but dude, in this version of the Hulk, he's very hard to kill. Not even in Bruce Banner form can you kill the Hulk unless he has that device that keeps him, I guess, human. I guess that's a way you could kill him. I don't know. My main thing, I think Punisher's involvement in this is that he's going after all the gangs in New York that are rising up now that Wilson Fisk is mayor and that spot is open, because we did see this armored truck that belongs to the Inner Demons, Spider-Man. We saw them in the Spider-Man video game, but they've also been in the comics. They're the goons of Mr. Negative. I'm thinking that's what Frank Castle's going after is mainly them. And that's what my theory was with like Boomerang and Tarantula. I feel like Boomerang and Tarantula are going to kind of be these joke villains that, yeah, they're hired. Yeah, they're a bit of a problem. But Spider-Man doesn't think of them as a big threat. He kind of just like, these are just like, come on, man, get your life together. Go back to school. He kind of like, he knows they're just guys on the wrong side doing this for like, Spider-Man is a soft on them. He doesn't see them as a threat. But when Frank Castle comes around threatening to put bullets in their head, it's like, Frank, chill, dude. These guys, they just need to be rehabilitated. They just need to be shown the right way. You don't need to kill them, Frank. I feel like that's going to be some of the conflict in there. People bringing back that other theory, since Mr. Negative has the power to bring out negative emotions from their user and kind of aim and manipulate that. Well, dude, that's key to getting rid of Smart Hulk. Mr. Negative touches Bruce Banner Hulk and then brings out the savage rage side in him. We got Savage Hulk back, dude. That would be awesome to get that version of the Hulk back. And that's how you also easily set up a fight between Spider-Man and the Hulk. When Hulk isn't thinking and he's just rampaging, well, Spider-Man's got to do something. So that could still be the case in what goes on, but there's no confirmation. We still don't know. You still got to, who is hiring all these guys? Is it going to be Mr. Negative? Is it going to be Tombstone, the one who's hiring these other thugs? I don't know, man. A lot of questions up in the air, but villain of the week, yeah, it also could be like it's just the opening of the movie. Maybe because people have also seen in other set photos, there's a building that says it'll be finished constructing in the year 2027. And that means the movie would then take place 3 years after the end of No Way Home. Yeah, here's the building. It says here that construction will finish in December. I think it says here December 2027. I don't know. That building don't look that close to being finished though. So at least that means it's before the year 2027, and Doomsday takes place in the year 2028. So whatever happens in this movie, it'll be before Doomsday, but it'll be at least around 3 years after No Way Home. I want to know what Spidey was up to in those 3 years. I want to know who he was fighting, has he been going to college? Has he been studying? Like the end of No Way Home implied he got his GED, but what job does he work? In those 3 years, he's got to have a job. I don't know if Feast pays all that well. They could be just volunteer work to, fulfill that side of Aunt May to pay honor to her for what she did there. I want to know. I want to know what they end up doing with that. So all this Spider-Man stuff has just been so fun, so exciting. It's crazy that there just hasn't been more set photos. Let me take one last look because right now they got to be working on it. I think maybe they're just doing a lot of the preparation instead of actually getting them working there. But dude, I know that they're gonna have physical swinging, probably some practical stuff thrown in there. Maybe that's how I've also seen how they can get around the VFX work for this movie is doing a lot of practical stunts. That would also be good. Franklin Street, all this New York City is crazy. All of this looking good. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I feel like the photo of it is gonna drop like sometime at 2 a.m. my time, and I'm gonna wake up in a panic sweat, going, "Spider-Man suit," and I'm gonna have to go and get it. So we'll see, my friends. But yeah, not much else. Plus, filming could even just be principal photography, setting up shots, lighting before the shoot. Yeah, that's the thing about movie sets. They take a long time to sometimes just do one thing. If pizza delivery driver as his job would be so funny. I would love it. And we'll get a pizza timeline in there. Dude, Hulk's son, I'm telling you right now, with the reboot coming, we're never hearing about Hulk's son again. Hulk's son? Uh-uh. What son? What front fade? That kid never showing up. This guy right here, I think we're done. What if he shows up, dude? Mid Spider-Man turn. We do not have time. We do not have the plot for this. He doesn't exist. He's not here. I think it'll be a throwaway line of like he's maybe Mark Ruffalo's Hulk talks to Peter and gives him some like fatherly advice and be's, I have a son and I didn't really get to be in his life and I'm trying to do that now and I'm sure you could use that. There's gonna be some throwaway line like that, but ain't no way Front Fade is ever showing up in this movie, man. Reboot comes, bye bye Front Fade. Never seeing you again, man. It's still so weird that they thought, dude, let's just drop that. Let's just drop Taskmaster treatment for real. Some people said Taskmaster treatment. That'll be so hilarious. He just gets shot at the beginning. Well, I thought Hulks were bulletproof. I guess not my son. Oh, dang, that sucks. Mom's gonna be pissed. Anyways, this Punisher guy, crazy, dude. I think that's what's gonna happen. Sadie Sink, I think she's gonna be like a college classmate type of deal. I think it could be maybe like a possible love interest of his. It could be like just someone he sees sweet. I don't know if she's that big of a character. She could be anything really. But I see it as like a possible love interest, but that is a replacement for MJ. I think it's like maybe Peter's like thinking of, oh, maybe I should get back out there. Maybe I should give something a shot. That's how I kind of see that. But we'll see. We'll see. Uh Bro tells the bar, leave the back. Yeah, that's what will go on. So we'll see, guys. You guys let me know, but it's nice to get the confirmation about the Hulk, about Scorpion. So many villains, so many characters. Of course, it could feel stuff, but it's all about how you use them. We've gone through this argument over and over as Spider-Man, or even just comic book movie fans. It's about how you use the characters. And if they serve the purpose and if they work well, I don't mind it. And we can just move on past it, right? So yeah. All right, some of y'all, before we get into the questions, let's get into some Reddity stuff because I was scrolling on there right before, and let me tell you, there was some peakness in the Reddit. So let's see what happens now. Heck, maybe I'll just make the Reddit scroll part of the clips channel. So, Spider-Man brand new day food collab pitch idea. Okay. I get where you're going with a spider. You get the pepperonis in the shape of a spider. It could work. I don't know if that. And then you have like the Punisher pizza. That's the skull. What do you do for the Hulk? Just a bunch of jalapenos, just for the green. It could be some. Oh, huh. Sign me up for that Transformers sequel. Let me tell you right now. Let me go to hot. Okay, so we talked about that. Dude, Jurassic World Rebirth not hitting the Billy. I mean, they shouldn't be surprised with Dominion. I knew Dominion was going to hurt it a little bit. It just sucks. But that's still a happy day for Universal. If anything, they just take a break with Jurassic World movies for a while now, but they're happy with that. They made their money back and some. So yeah, it's not a Billy, but it was money. Oh, the case that ended it all. Oh, the Conjuring poster recreated. I love it. It's perfect. Oh, we're looking at Annabelle. There was a rumor that Annabelle was gonna like grow 10 feet tall in the movie. That there's gonna be a scene where Annabelle gets big. I'm looking forward to that if that ends up happening. That'd be really cool. Maybe there's like a flashback into all their previous cases. Annabelle's just like, she took the Mario mushroom. That's pretty good. I like that. Yes, the rumor about Mr. Negative with the Hulk. I feel like that'll work. Happy spot. Yeah, the comment sections lately have been Chris. I literally had a boner when I saw the suit. You and me, pal. You and me. The Conjuring. That looks pretty good. I recreated that well. That would hang that poster in my wall. Oh, geez. What's happening? What did I say? This is just recently. My beautiful peeps. Let me see what some of y'all saying in the chat. How many times in a day? I plead the fifth on that one. Oh, he's guilty. I love my fan base. Y'all aren't going to get me canceled at all one day. Scorpion back. Oh, jeez. This is just scary. That's just horrifying. Oh, that feels like it'd be one of my aunts. Oh, bro, I genuinely thought this was pretty cool. Honestly, look, would not be a bad Freddy look right there. I like the redesign. Freddy still got that Riz, though. Look at the girl over there. Fix the conjure. Looks good. Looks good. Oh, spot the... I'm so scared. What's... Okay, I'm going to take a guess. It's either the Lorax or like... It's going to be some Illumination character because only Illumination characters are built like me from the back. Oh, Patrick. I knew it was an animated character.
I do not have time for your candy-ass hero shit. Like any maggot piece of shit that I put down, I did it because I liked it. I love it.
I hope there was a... I think I saved it. There was a really cool... Let me see if I can find it. Somebody had like a really cool creation of like what I would love to see in... Yeah, I got it. In like a Punisher hunting down Spider-Man shot that looks so cool right here. Tell me you would not like to see that scene. Just like that. I mean, that would be a recreation from the comic cover, but a scene like that would be so dope. Just him pointing at Spider-Man. It could just be that... I don't think he would kill Spider-Man, but he would definitely shoot to injure. So he'd get like a shoulder shot, a leg shot on him. If he's stopping him from killing someone that he thinks is someone that needs to be dead, Punisher will wound Spider-Man for that to happen. But I don't think he'll go as far as to kill Spider-Man. He's not like that. He does have a moral to him, even if it's a very twisted moral. But I like that. That's such a cool shot right there. I figured it out. Okay. Yeah, see, I always would have liked if they went with this. Not this exact one. I get that they wanted to polish it up, but I like the raised webbing. It just looked too rubbery and weird, but dang Russo brothers. Avatar 3? Honestly, maybe... Oh yeah, I saw that. I was right on that. Okay, I had to show this off. Somebody did this and I love it. Now, the actual... I don't know if you guys remember, the actual rapping lyrics are mine. I created them. I don't think I'm proud of that, but I do like the way it came out for the 2 seconds I rapped.
Influencer Smurf versus Megamind. Begin. You might be a blue man here, but I'm a blue influencer Smurf. I get down and dirty. Don't check my DMs. Minor problem in there.
I am so proud of that line. I feel like I cooked there.
Don't check my DMs. Minor problem in there.
Ah, influencer Smurf cooked. Cooked. Off, yeah. You know that phase? I don't know how many of you guys went through this phase. I went through the phase. I went through the phase in middle school where I thought I could be a rapper. Okay. You know what? Shut up. Somebody wants to be a hero, somebody wants to be basketball athletes, movie stars, whatever. Everybody goes to the face. They're like, I could come up with a rhyme. I could do something. My kryptonite, my downfall, never could follow a beat. I was so jealous of, like, them pencil kids in the classroom. With the little pencil beats and all that. I could never stay on beat. I could never do it. It was so embarrassing that I would get called out. Like, you're not even on beat, dude. No, you beat your meat. So that is what I'm most proud of in my life. I got to live the rapper life for 2 seconds. That was a very fire line. Don't check influencer Smurf's DMs. Minor problem in there. Oh, dude, history books are gonna talk about that one. All right. Oh, video cannot be played. Oh, wonder what I did. Chrome Cruiser looking like Cyberman from Doctor Who. Dang, that looks very shiny, dude. That makeup took forever, and I don't know what happened. The Chrome Cruiser is still with us today. I touched something on my desk that started bringing back the Chrome Cruiser. I don't know if you could see it. I don't know what is on. I was doing something, and I guess I touched something that was still silvery. The Chrome Cruiser wants to come back. Chrome! That was so weird. I couldn't believe it. Oh, yes, the Fantastic Four Denny's Grand Slam. Oh, if I existed as a YouTuber back then, which I didn't yet, this would have been a classic 3C food review. Oh, I had this photo of Chris saved for a while. I can't imagine how many photos you guys have saved. What you said? Refresh. Refresh what? Did something happen? I don't even know what. Something crazy. It is a nice brand new day. The meme is dead. The meme is gone. We are not doing it anymore. We move on. Oh, look at Ned. You know what? This kind of looks like the kid from Final Destination and the Chucky TV series, and he's in the new Five Nights at Freddy's. That's what I feel like it kind of looks like. He's got an action figure. That's cool. Oh. 3C, I'm stalking you. Ooh, you got a nice room, buddy. Oh. Okay. I think we've had enough. I think that's all we get for now. I don't think there's anything more I want to show off. Just double check. Oh. Because whenever I made that community post talking about, I don't want to. I did that though. I never made that continuation video. I got lazy. All right. That was it. Let's go into your viewer submitted questions and start punching people. Let's get to it, buddy. Oh boy, let me put this off to the side. And then I get this over here. And we'll get to Goon. Good stuff. Someone super chat K-pop Demon Hunter. You know what? After tonight's stream, I'll watch it with my lady. I'll watch it. And it's on Netflix. There's no excuse. I have nothing else to watch as of right now. Since I don't have the link for Bambi. I'll watch K-pop Demon Hunter tonight then. I keep hearing good things about it, man. I gotta check it out. You guys are bullying me into it. Noah Drossen says, what would you say is the best and worst horror movie of this year so far? The best to me, I mean, look, I get it. I don't want to take anything away from Sinners because I do think it has horror elements. To me, the drama of it overtakes the horror, where I think it's a drama horror, if there's like a combination name for that. So for those reasons, just to not cop out, because I would say Sinners is my number one. And if I'm looking for a little bit more traditional horror, or not necessarily traditional, but more straight up horror, it's a toss up because right now it's either Together, Bring Her Back, or 28 Years Later. But even then, 28 Years Later also wasn't a straight up horror. I feel like that one had a mix in what it was trying to do. I guess it is Together for me right now. Then, if not, it might be Bring Her Back. How should MCU end Spider-Man Peter? I think with him, maybe having a kid. I think that's what would be a responsibility. It has to be something big enough that Peter knows he has to put his attention here. And because I kind of like what the Spider-Man video game did. Because right now, if you're not caught up with the Spider-Man video game, Spider-Man 2 ends with Peter letting Miles be the savior of the city. Doesn't mean that Spider-Man is forever gone, and it still feels like Spider-Man will help him time to time. But Peter is finally deciding to put his family first, him and MJ. It doesn't look like he's having a kid. Oh no, he is, right? I think she was pregnant at the end of that. I can't remember. I think that's what it would be. Spider-Man would be 6 would end with MJ pregnant, about to have a kid. Miles is introduced, pupil status, whatever like that. Kind of hands off the baton. Not to say he's retiring as Spider-Man, but he's taking a pause to focus on a bigger responsibility. That's raising a child. So she was not pregnant at the end of Spider-Man 2. I don't know why I imagined that. She was not pregnant. Thank you guys. But that's how I would see it. And he has Mayday Parker and all that, and we could then let Miles have his trilogy, and then eventually we could go back to Tom Holland's Spider-Man and have him balance the family life with the crime fighting life, especially if the kid shows signs of powers. That's how I would see it. That's how I see it. When you see Weapons, 100% on Rotten Tomatoes is crazy. I see Weapons on Tuesday. Very excited. Heard nothing but great things. That might end up being the best horror movie for me. Everything I've seen from it is so good. I didn't want to watch that clip they released just the other day where it was freaking Wong. His name's Benedict Wong, right? Benedict Wong, where he has like these crazy eyes and he's chasing Julia Garner through the freaking grocery store. Oh, it looks insane. I cannot wait to see that movie. I'm trying to stay away though from all the other stuff because I want to be left with some surprises for that movie, but I couldn't help to watch that little clip they released. So yeah, Weapons on Tuesday, so review for you guys on Wednesday. Connor Durain says, have you seen the new teaser trailer for Welcome to Derry? Yeah, we talked about it just earlier. Looks good. I'm excited for it. I was surprised to see Pennywise pretty much going to look the same from his movie counterparts. I thought maybe they'd mix up the design or go with something a little prequelish, but not so much. John Corey says, hot take, I just watched Jack and Jill and thought I would hate it, and I ironically loved it. Couldn't stop laughing the whole way through. What's wrong with me? Nah, I mean, if everybody's got things, and I'll tell you something. That was a blockbuster night when that one came out. I didn't love the movie, but my dad was laughing all the way through. I will never forget his cackle and laugh throughout the whole movie. I was like, damn, Daddy liked this one. The only other movie I remember watching as a family on a blockbuster night that we all collectively laughed so hard at was Step Brothers. Step Brothers was a movie I remember my entire family had us dying. Dude, that was a movie we rented, popped it on, and we were just dying of laughter. Good times, man. I hope a lot of you guys have family movie nights, man. Those are special. Those are special. LaFlaw says, Dick Halloran from The Shining will be a main character in Welcome to Derry. The Stephen King universe is finally being brought to film television. Oh, Dick Halloran from The Shining will be a main character in Welcome to Derry. I did not know that. I wish I was a bigger Shining fan to know who the Dick is. But I'd like to know this Dick. And I welcome him. Although it might be scary and I'm not sure if I'm ready, Dick can come. And I will be open-minded. Moving on. Reed Jackson Media says, a moment of silence for the say that again meme. R.I.P. R.I.P. Someone said clip farming. Guys can't take me anywhere. Really wish you were here says I absolutely loved F4. It's an easy 96% for me. I do wonder what this movie would have looked like. I think about that too cuz I hate to be a John Watts hater. He seems like he was such a nice guy to me at the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere. I know I talk about this all the time, it's a broken record, but you guys don't know what it was like to be in that room and know that you're just here because you make little YouTube videos and there's real stars all around you. And I told you there were two stars that like kind of gave me the cold shoulder when I was asking for a photo, and I was like, oh, all right. John did not, dude. John was there, shook my hand, even had some fun with the popcorn bucket, and I loved Skeleton Crew. Skeleton Crew, I thought was really good. So I do wonder what the Fantastic Four would have looked like for two reasons. One, I'm obviously super, super picky of Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero. I have such a specific vision in mind for how Spider-Man should be. A lot of it based off the Raimi movies, I'm not gonna lie, but from the comics I've read, the video games, the cartoons, it's like there's a way of Spider-Man I would like, and John just did a version of Spider-Man that I wanted to love, but I can't get there all the way with it. It feels very corporate, very, very safe to me. It doesn't feel like it has its own flavor. But maybe with the Fantastic Four, I'm not that picky with. I like the Fantastic Four. I enjoy them as characters, but I would not have been that hard and picky with it. So I would have liked to have seen if I would have liked John Watts' style and his way of going about things more with the Fantastic Four being characters that I'm not like, not my Reed Richards, not my Sue Storm. The Thing would never do that, John. You know? So we'll see. We'll see. Actually, we won't see. We won't see. But I still think John Watts could be coming back. He still has a great relationship with Kevin Feige. And so far, he's only been a Sony employee. And I think Feige really wants him to be a Marvel employee again. Or not again, but for the first time. And that's what Fantastic Four was going to be. Because remember, he has to deal with pleasing Feige and pleasing Sony, which can't be an easy job. Can't be an easy job. DJ Shear says, considering leaving the Reddit due to people being transphobic or rude in general, it sucks because I do love your channel. I like the discourse. Well, I'm sorry about that. We do have mods in there. I don't tolerate that because I do believe in trans rights. As much as that might upset people, I do believe in that. So I'm sorry about that, my friend. But I'll look into that. David the Mamba says, hey 3C, listening to your stream, getting a new tattoo. You got any or want any one day? I have thought about it. If I did, it'd be a Spider-Man tattoo on my upper back is where I put it. Or I don't know, maybe on my arm. Maybe on my arm. But I don't tolerate a lot of pain. I'm not very good. And I am also very indecisive. So I feel like whatever I'd pick, I would regret it like the next day. I'd be like, no, I should have got Spider-Man Gooning. Why didn't I do that instead? You know? That's Snow L. Jackson says, can you quickly update your post in-game ranking, please? By the way, you still haven't followed me on Letterboxd. Well, maybe I don't want to, Snow L. Jackson. Maybe the photo of you as Snow White pisses me off. So, yeah, how about that? Once you change that profile picture, I'd think about it, buddy. I'd think about it. As far as quickly doing the post-in-game update, I do have to update that. But with how horrendously awful it went last time, I'm not even going to spend the 30 minutes doing it now. Just know, I think post-endgame, Fantastic Four would probably be number 2. Probably number 2. Maybe number 3. No, I have to think back. See, you already got me thinking. It'd be, you know what, number 4. Wait a minute. My granny said you want to want. The Archive says, so excited for Hulk and Punisher. Scorpion finally. Dude, that Scorpion costume better be peak. I need it to be nice, green. I can't wait to see those fight scenes. I hope they all get plenty of time. Boomerang and Tarantula, I think, are just going to be joke villains. I don't know. But then again, you think about the way they did Spot in the animated Spider-Verse movies. When we first got our first look at Spot, everybody was like, oh, he's going to be a temporary villain. He's a joke villain. Oh, he's just a quick villain. And that was literally the plot to Spider-Verse. It was, you think I'm a joke villain? You didn't take me seriously. And now the Spot is, look at this major threat. Boomerang could boomerang the whole city. Isaiah says, since it's also Spider-Man Day, can you think of some moments where Spider-Man left an impact on you? Oh, dude, I got core memory is sitting in the theater and seeing the title card for Sam Raimi's Spider-Man. I remember watching Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends as a kid with where he was at. Was it Firestar and Iceman? I thought that was a cool show, and like Peter would hit a button and his room would turn into Dexter's laboratory. I thought was crazy. The Spider-Man video games, whether on the PS1 or the PlayStation 2. I remember I asked Santa Claus one year for the Spider-Man 2 video game on PlayStation, and Santa Claus, aka my father, bought me the game for Spider-Man 1 instead of Spider-Man 2. And I opened it on Christmas morning, obviously disappointed and sad, thinking Santa like did it on purpose to be like, "Hey, you weren't good this year, so you get the first game again." And I was like, and the next day, once the store opened, my dad took me to Blockbuster, and I remember standing in line, looking around, knowing we're exchanging the game for Spider-Man 2, and I'm thinking to myself, why did Santa Claus buy the game here? Can he just make it in his workshop with his elves? I was in the Blockbuster line, 7 or 6 years old, literally thinking that, going, why? Why would Santa Claus come here? Does he have a Blockbuster membership? That's interesting. And so I was a kid and I was just going through all those thoughts. I was like, I thought he would get the stuff ahead. He buys them the same night. Oh man, that's crazy. I was 6'7". Oh, I did it again. I did. No, the chat went crazy with 6'7". 6'7"? I hate y'all. Dude, so ton of core memories with Spider-Man, dude. Oh yeah, last one. My favorite Christmas present I ever got. Christmas morning, I still talk about this. I still think about maybe buying it one day. Was the Spider-Man Sinister 6-pack. Spider-Man Sinister 6-pack toy. This was my favorite toy as a kid. This is the thing do when I opened this Christmas morning. I was so happy. I played with those toys all the time. There's a photo somewhere in my family history, and I have to find it. Eventually, when I was getting older and I stopped playing with toys, I didn't want to throw them away. I was like thinking like Andy from Toy Story, and I was like, these are my friends. I can't toss them away. I can't get rid of them. So what I did is I had a desk and I created a scene where I had Spider-Man in the middle and all the villains were coming to attack him. I even printed out like a New York backdrop. I had this like Golden Gate Bridge thing. I have to find that photo because I was so proud of the scene I created. Goblin coming in from the sky, Venom hanging off the I was like, yes, 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 yes. I was a regular Christopher Nolan. I was like, yes, 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 yes. He's got this. It's not tough for Spider-Man. He's got this. Dude, yeah. So Spider-Man is like my biggest core memory, dude. So many to this day. Still my goat. Still my goat. Jewel Farella says, do you think we will see Venom in Brand New Day? I know people think that because of that Spider-Man cover we were talking about with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Let's see, Boomerang. In that shot, there is a comic cover. Let me see if I can even find it now. From the room. Let me see, Spider-Man Boomerang. And tarantula. I could spell tarantula. Okay, there we go. In this one, you could see he's right there. Venom is right there. So he makes like a small appearance in that comic. Possibly that could happen. There's already so many characters. I think we are headed towards the symbiote storyline, but I think they're going to build it up into their own way. I don't think they should redo it, connecting it to the Tom Hardy Venom movies. Yeah, I know they had that little drop of stuff there, and they could just do it. At this point, I wouldn't mind if they just create their own thing. They're done with that universe. Sony doesn't even want to make more spin-off characters, at least for now. We'll see what thing they end up making, but I don't know. I don't know. I think if it does, it's a post-credit scene thing, which would be twice. Venom isn't in the post-credit scene for a Spider-Man movie. George, the only one, says, Chris, I need your wisdom. I'm going to college this year, and my family is really disappointed that I want to make movies and work. Good choice or no? Hey, man,
I know you see me, and I was in your exact same shoes, dude. I did my 2 years of community college. I got my associates, and then I jumped to a big boy university at UNT here in Dallas. First semester, not even first semester, first day of class. I'm in one of them big college classrooms, the ones you see in movies that are like elevated and all that. In that room, first day is always syllabus day. So it's the day they tell you, well, okay, we're going to learn this. You're going to need this book. You're going to need to do this. I sat there staring. It was like Homelander from that scene of the boys were, and I just said to myself, I'm not doing this. I'm not passing this. That's too much stuff for me. I can't. I'm not built for this. I'm not built for. I just wasn't. I'm so envious of people that can finish college or that have a degree like that because I just couldn't. I didn't have the discipline to do it, unfortunately. And so I was like, I'm just gonna try YouTube. And I got lucky enough to where it worked, but buddy, it's a hard thing to do. I think it is kind of easier than ever with short form content. There's a lot of people that manage to make it with short form. So I say the thing where you give it a year's try. Nothing pops off in that year, buddy. You can't waste your life chasing something that might not happen. See, even saying that, I feel so wrong because I'm like, maybe you should chase it. Maybe you should. I say it's up to you, buddy. I say it's up to you. All right. Nexus Fuel says, Chris got a handful of balls. I got them goblin balls. Nick Edits says, I love you and your videos. Oh, well, Mr. Edits, have you made an edit of me? I've been seeing some edits of me. Let me pull one up. Does it have copyrighted music? There was an edit of me made that made me very happy. I was like, oh, dude, that's cool. You know what? I'm just going to play it on my phone because I don't know if, whatchamacallit, copyrighted with whatever music. But I was like, oh, dude, that's a cool edit. That's a cool edit. Let's see here. Okay, I'll try and that way. All right, you ready, guys? This is.
Who the hell are you, 3C Films? Who am I?
Ain't no holla back girl, ain't no holla back girl.
Galactus didn't come to this earth. You know why? Even while he's still alive.
I love when you guys make edits of me. It boosts my ego just a little bit. There's some edits some people make, and I'm like, I'll post it on the Reddit. It was good. David the Mama says, all the rumored announced characters for Brand New Day have me excited for lived in New York with an established street level Spidey. Gonna feel like a cosmic. Yeah, and that's also what I'm excited about, is just really bringing that New York flavor. I feel like John Watts wasn't able to do that in No Way Home because of them having to film so much indoors because of COVID. I'm sure there was probably more swinging, more like outside stuff he wanted to do in New York that just wasn't possible. I don't blame him for that, but it just feels like New York hasn't really been a character in these movies. It only ever shows up in the beginning or at the very end of a Spider-Man movie. And I would like New York to feel good. And seeing those set photos of how much practicality they're putting in and what the streets are going to look like, oh, exciting. Have you seen the Bambi Reckoning? I have not yet. I still need to. Working on it. Lewis Kirk says, went to see Fantastic Four 2 times. I really enjoyed and saw Superman 3 times. Loved it. I have seen Fantastic Four and Superman 3 times each. I was only planning to watch Fantastic Four twice. I saw it once, and then if I'm going to do a spoiler review, I like to watch it a second time just to fully make sure I got everything I needed to that I want to talk about. And I was like, it was good. I'm done. Superman, I wanted to watch 3 times just because. But then my friend hit me up. He's like, I'm going to go watch Fantastic Four alone. You want to join me? And I was like, can't leave a friend behind. So I was like, yeah, buddy, I'll join you. Junior says, what are your biggest worries about Godzilla Kong Supernova? Honestly, you guys know, I like the cartoony vibe that they're going with in these movies. I do like it. Kong having that little gauntlet and all that, and the logo they came out with looks like they're not going to go away from it. I do think there is a limit to how cartoony and zany it goes, to where it gets into Schumacher Batman vibes, where it gets into just absolute ridiculous vibes. So I want it to get close to that line, but not teeter over it where it just feels absurd. Does that make sense? So it's like, I feel there is a way you could give Kong a whole Iron Man suit if you wanted to. You just got to write it in the context where it makes sense. Godzilla, I would like there to be more of an emotion in Godzilla. I know there's like some rules that Toho gives that like Godzilla's not allowed to smile. He's not allowed to do this. He's not allowed to do that. And you're like, dude, what is Godzilla allowed to do then? So that would be it. And just not enough action. But dude, they gotta go all out in this one. It's gonna be like, completing the trilogy, going all out. Aside from that, I say worry, but I feel like it has to happen. Kong dying. Kong dying is gonna break my heart, man. Tara on Elm Street says, when did you first start collecting Funko Pops? I started right before the pandemic. I like didn't have an opinion on them one way or another. I always saw them around, and I saw other mutuals of mine collecting them. And then they came out with like the Toy Story line, and they had like Woody on RC, and I was like, that looks kind of cool. Then they had the Jaws one that doesn't even look like a Funko Pop. It was just the Jaws. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And once you bought one, dude, it was like crack. You couldn't stop. But then it got to a point where it's just like they just weren't hitting. They weren't coming out with good pops. They weren't giving me a good feeling anymore. And then when I moved homes, I hated those things because it was literally, I'm not even joking, guys. It was like 12 giant tubs, all with like 70 Funko Pops each, carrying them, loading them into a U-Haul, into a storage, into all that. Oh, it was torture. I tortured myself. I did that to myself. I have no one to blame but myself. It made me hate it. Leo says, I heard that the Mr. Negative might be in it. Yeah, we were talking about because of the set photos. They have the inner demon symbol. So yeah, looks like Mr. Negative. I wonder if he's going to be like a shadow villain. Maybe Mr. Negative isn't even a big part of it. He's just like, kind of like the background, and he's like saved for the next movie. Maybe that's what's happening. Leighton Davenport says, I heard in Spider-Man Brand New Day, Punisher will get a major upgrade to deal with Hulk and Spider-Man. See, okay, I've seen people already bring this up, and I hate to be the sour guy on it. I hate to be it because I know I was seeing a lot of people cook. People want Punisher to get the War Machine suit. So War Machine. Suit like this one, because there's a comic where Punisher gets the War Machine suit. And yes, dude, yes, it looks badass. I'm not gonna lie. It does look cool. But from what I like about Frank Castle, what I've read about Frank Castle, he just isn't the type to want or need that. If he does get in this, it's because it's an absolute no other option type of deal, and he uses it to his advantage, right? To me, I'm just not crazy about the Punisher War Machine thing. It would also even go back to them needing to always connect it to Tony Stark and Iron Man. If they bust out Punisher in a War Machine Iron Man suit, I will lose it. Can we go one Spider-Man movie without a reference to Mr. Stark?
It's technically a reference to Don Cheadle and his character.
I'll slap you upside the head, buddy. I don't know, man. It could be cool if it's a one-time scene thing. It's just like a really quick type of deal. Because people were saying that in the set photos, which let me see if I can pull them up again. So the rumor is, and again, take this with a huge grain of salt, because I'm just seeing what other people are saying. In the set photos for the Spider-Man Brand New Day, they're the armored trucks that they're going after. It's rumored that they're carrying like some high-tech weapons and whatnot. I'm trying to find Spider-Man. They're carrying some like high-tech weapons, almost like at the end of Homecoming when Vulture is like carrying all these like Avenger stuff with Iron Man helmets and Thor's belt and all that stuff, that these things could actually be holding some high-tech weaponry. And the Punisher is actually after it, and one of those high-tech weapons maybe is a War Machine suit. Maybe it could be something that maybe Norman Osborn wants, because Norman Osborn has also had the War Machine suit. If you see there, Norman Osborn has worn the War Machine, the Patriot suit in the comics before. Maybe just Norman wants his hands on one for some reason, and I guess Punisher gets it first, and then he turns it into his thing, and then maybe that's how he goes after the Hulk. Maybe that's his necessity. the thing he thinks he needs to fight Hulk, all right, I guess I'll forgive it. I just like Frank Castle for his wits, his ability to be able to come up with how to go after an enemy with his own skill in bare hands. But yeah, that's just me. That's just me. We'll see what ends up happening. Fortnite Lover just sends in some love. Thank you so much. Spider-Man 4 means Green Goonblin coming. I feel like that's what they got to lead into, right? Is the MCU Norman. I would love to see their Green Goblin. Let's see here. Bambi Reckoning review coming out. When's it coming out? I don't know. You know when it's coming out? I still got to watch the movie, buddy. Adrian Moya says, Chris, I'm bullying my Guire to you, Bobby. Lewis Kirk says, what do you think of the new Zootopia True trailer? Oh, I did like it. I thought it was actually fine. There was just so much on Side Flick. It was like 20-minute episodes. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna cool down on some stuff. But I liked it. I like what they're going with. I did like that opening scene of like the odd couples that need to work on their relationships in the police department. I saw people going crazy that the fox is wearing a shirt that says Fox Daddy, and people's like, oh, you God, he's having a kid. They're having a kid, him and Judy Hopper. I think it's just like a shirt that they need to wear because they get in a situation. It looks good. I cannot wait. Todd Murray says, did you see Brandon Scanar post about him training for his biggest role yet? His trainer-like comment suggesting Batman, Nate Man, and a better choice, in my opinion. Yeah, I did see that. I did see people going crazy over it. I don't think it's anything. Brandon Scanar, I think, I'm sure he possibly could be Batman. We'll see when that ends up getting cast. I don't think that confirms it because I do believe James Gunn right now that he has not cast Batman and that he probably hasn't had any official talks with anybody just yet. But I'm trying to find the post. It was this one there, and his trainer's the one that posted it saying that he's training my client for his biggest role in all the comment. Oh, I don't even have it on the screen, my dumb. He's like training my client for his biggest role, and he was just liking comments about Batman. If he really had gotten the Batman role and that was happening, and with how big of that is and how big of a deal, bro would not be liking those things. Bro would not be hinting so hard at that stuff. Bro would, because he does not want to be fired as training this guy in. Because once you sign up for that, oh, dude, that's a client for life. You're going to be Batman. You're locked in for workouts for the next 10 years of your life. I want that money to be your trainer. He's not going to give it away from liking little comments. So I think it's much to do about nothing, and he just knows that it'll be like good buzz for him. Watch, next week we're going to find out he's probably the Judge Dredd for Taika Waititi's movie or something. How does Annabelle make love? Nasty. A reboot of The Holiday is in the works at Apple TV. Which is The Holiday? Which is The Holiday? The Holiday movie. Is that oh, okay. I know which movie you're talking about, where like it's a different stories that kind of all connect towards the end. I guess. I remember when those were all the thing back in like the late 2000s. Nerdy Boy says, did you see this? Oh, dude, I did see this. It's a good one. Casting your thoughts. So I don't know how many people care about this, but I did find it so interesting. So you guys know they're working on a sequel for The Social Network. I love that first movie. I did not think I would care that much about a Facebook movie, but Andrew Garfield was great in it. Mark Zuckerberg was great. What was his name? Darren Aronofsky was the writer, but David Fincher was the director. Aaron Sorkin. I'm so messing up names. Aaron Sorkin was the writer. David Fincher was the director. And now for this new one, Aaron Sorkin is both going to write and direct, which I wish it was Fincher, but whatever. And then they came out with these casting announcements. So I was like, oh, interesting. So apparently Jesse Eisenberg doesn't want to play Mark Zuckerberg. They said in this article here that Jesse Eisenberg kind of passed on the role and he's not interested right now. I wonder why. Yeah, and I know Mark Zuckerberg isn't the most beloved person, but he's already kind of played this version of the character a lot, either through the Lex Luthor version and in The Social Network. Maybe he's just done with playing that character. Then again, he's doing 3 Now You See Me movies, so I don't know. So he doesn't want to. So their replacement for Jesse Eisenberg is to get. Hang on, let me exit out of this. Their replacement for Jesse Eisenberg is to get the guy from Succession, Jeremy Strong, who, don't get me wrong, Great actor, really good actor, in fact. I don't think looks much like Jesse Eisenberg. I mean, like Mark Zuckerberg. There are some photos where people kind of make him look like Mark Zuckerberg, but I'm like, I don't see it, buddy. There was a Jeremy Strong. He was in that Trump movie, which I didn't watch. Jeremy Strong. I mean, I could kind of maybe see it. He's got like the egg shape, but if they do that, I think it could speak volumes to the direction they go in for this Social Network sequel. I feel like they could go with the meta approach that the first Social Network was a movie in the universe of the sequel, that maybe the movie will actually start with like the real Mark Zuckerberg, Jeremy Strong, watching the Social Network going, totally got me wrong. That's not even how I act. I don't even talk like that. Why would they even say I talk like that? It's not, do I talk like that? I don't talk like that. You know, basically ending up, and then we go into the story about what the Social Network is. I feel like that's what they could do, but I mean, he's a good actor, so I guess it could be fine. Then they also had Jeremy, was it Alan White, as one of like the reporters that broke the story of whatchamacallit, of the Social Network, that like the whistleblower that like revealed that Facebook was like spying on you and all this stuff. I was trying to zoom in on his undies, but it wasn't working. Sorry, guys. That could work, and I'm fine. I'm curious to see it. I feel like it could go good, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Was Secret Wars always the plan or a panic move? Oh no, I think Secret Wars was always the plan. Secret Wars was an easy fix for Feige, no offense, the moment Chadwick Boseman died. When Chadwick Boseman died, Feige knew we need a way to bring T'Challa that isn't just recasting, which I think they should have recast from the beginning. But since Chadwick Boseman died in T'Challa, I feel like Feige was already on a course from there, because that would be an explanation for how to bring in a T'Challa and reboot the universe and whatnot. I think Secret Wars has been a plan for a long time. It's just a matter of what things are going to get rebooted and shifted. So I don't think it was a situation of like, oh, a panic move. Now they had that. Feige's had that in his mind for a long time, and he's a huge comic book nerd. And once your universe gets this big, this grand, so many storylines, so many characters, all this stuff, you need some sort of reset event to always put everything back to quota. It happens. Godzilla versus Galactus. I'm thinking. I know some of y'all would love to say Godzilla. I think Galactus would eat Godzilla's beam. Go. Oh, that's very good. Can you give me one nacho flavored now, Mr. Zilla? You know, that's what I think. Sean Patuz says, do you think modern blockbusters still have the power to create cultural shifts like movies did in the past? IG, The Matrix, Pulp Fiction, Star Wars. Yeah, we are seeing it with Spider-Verse. There isn't a modern day animated movie that comes out now where people don't look at it and go, kind of looks like Spider-Verse over here. That's a movie that's had a cultural impact in that, and that was one film that's done that for the animated genre. So Spider-Verse is definitely one of them. As far as right now, I mean, well, the MCU was one, but that's more of a movement with the cinematic universe. I will say they don't come as often. You are right. I can't think of another. I mean, we'll see the impact Sinners has. I think it's a really big movie, and it did something really good for this. But you know, people also talked about that with Barbie, and I have yet to see any more lasting effects that Barbie had. I mean, Christopher Nolan, but that feels also more in his own wheelhouse. That Christopher Nolan will just be able to keep hyping up Christopher Nolan movies as opposed to impacting the greater culture. So I don't know, but I mean, for me, it's I guess it'd be Spider-Verse that does have that. Lol Zipper says, look at new rock stars. They used your joke. It seems a bit sus. What do you mean they used my joke? Which one? What they do? What they do? YouTube? New rock star. Which one? Was the say that again joke?
I'm Eric Voss, and Spider-Man Brand New Day just revealed his first look at Peter's suit in the film coming next summer. The next
I don't know. I don't see the joke. I don't see if you have a timestamp for it, but that's a, they big. They got stuff to do. I doubt they looked at my little video and said, "Oh, we stealing that cringy joke. We stealing that cringy joke." Let's see here. Toon Dude says if Jason could make the same could come back the same way Pennywise and Michael Myers did in theaters, do you think the film could gross as much money as them or barely? Get the goat back in theaters. I think he would definitely make a close to what Michael Myers did. There is a hungering for it, and the other thing is there is no oversaturation of it. You know, Michael Myers had a whole trilogy, and the only other like slasher icon that came in during that time was Ghostface with the Scream movies. And even then, I feel like those came after his trilogy, right? So, no, it's still a wide open market with not as many people filling in that space. I I think that movie is probably going to do really good once it comes out. It's a matter of the stars and the premise. You know, and we laugh about Blumhouse. The general audience love Blumhouse. The general audience think that's great. Doomslay, I know you said I made you an edit. You could tag me in it and I'll see it later, buddy. Thank you, Doomslay. But yeah, so I think he'd still do good. It's because slasher just isn't in a so oversaturated market. So yeah. Global Globber says he is a menace to the city. I want that wall crawler arachnid prosecuted. I want him prosecuted, hung by his webs. I want Spider-Man. JK, best casting. Yeah, it's still crazy that he's just the same J. Jonah Jameson in Tom Holland's universe. I wonder if he is going to end up getting a photography job. You know, J. Jonah's reporting is a lot more virtual. Does he need a photographer, right? Or does he just need scooped videos of Spider-Man, you know? The Harlequin Demon says the Full House list of Horror Nights was revealed. Some merch, the art, Jason and Freddy Fazbear together, crazy stuff. Yeah, I got to settle my tickets and my date to go so I can get a vlog and get you guys going for that. Yeah. Lance Plurano says, "Do you know there is an unreleased Fantastic?" Yes, I know about the unreleased. I just didn't have time to watch it and then make it part of the review because so much stuff was happening. But yeah, I'm aware of it. I just honestly have no interest to review it. I Love Movie says, "Did you see the Bad Guys 2 yet, buddy? Still haven't seen Bad Guys Uno." Who's the real bad guy now? You're welcome. Leighton Davenport says, "Chris, did you see The Home? I thought it was good." Is it good? I thought that was one of those ones that people were making fun of because it was awful. Home movie. What the heck? Home movie 20. Is that the Pete Davidson one? Oh, it's got a 29 on Rotten Tomatoes and a 59%. I know I shouldn't let that dictate me, but oh, what happened to Pete Dare? I have not seen it. I'll think about it. Maybe it'll be a Spooky Mama entry. Around Spooky Mama time, I always do the thing where I like review a bunch of different horror movies I've missed that have come out in the year. That might just end up on that list then. All right. The red Conjuring poster 4 was good. Okay, Conjuring 4 red poster. Conjuring 4 red poster. Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah, this one was actually pretty good. You're right. The silhouette, the horns, that is a good poster. I will give you that. Yeah. You're right. Thank you for reminding me of that one. Dark Archive says Peter and Hulk are going to be in Doomsday, right? Oh, yeah. It seems like Spider-Man's going to have more of a smaller role. I think Hulk will be bigger. And really, they're probably just going to use Spider-Man to bring out more of a Savage Hulk to then be useful in Doomsday. At least the way people want him to be. Dark Archive says, would feel weird not having them there. Yeah, I agree. Isaiah says, thoughts on James Gunn reiterating again that the movie he is writing is not a Superman sequel, but Superman has a major role in it. Yeah, it is weird. I thought about almost making it a topic for this live stream, but it'd be me running in circles from what I'm saying. If you guys don't know what he's talking about, James Gunn responded to a fan online, as he does, where he was like, "Hey, James, what are you up to now? What you going to do on your spare time?" And then he just said, Peacemaker Season 2 press tour and writing the sequel. And everybody was like, oh, he's finally calling it a sequel. So it is Superman 2. It's a sequel, Superman 2. And then he was like, oh, no. It's not a sequel. It's just Superman has a major role in it. Yeah, James, not confusing at all, buddy. Romeo says top 5 favorite original animated tortillas? What's OOT? Oh, my favorite oat. I've always been a big fan of whole wheat oat. I feel like it's very important to get your fiber. Maize corn is good though, because then you can just get corn out of it. And it's also, what stems from popcorn. I'm always eating popcorn there. Now, millet, dude, millet users, oh, we should lock them up. You know what I'm saying? They're a little insufferable the way they talk about millet. They're like, you gotta get your daily millet. We actually started doing millet. Annoying, those guys. Can't handle them. But those are my favorite oats, if I'm being honest. Oh, bro edging us. Okay, top 5 movies of all time. Well, Back to the Future. It's so bad at this because it's not something I really think about. It's just like I just love so many movies, but it's like I know Back to the Future is always number one, and take that in first trilogy. Go with Spider-Man 2, Scream. I have Whiplash up there as one of them. You know what? Just for the heck of it, Kick-Ass. I know. Oh, it's not Godfather? Not Schindler's List? Oh, not the movie about the pigeon who sees all the war crimes happen from the Empire State Building? KC Max says, "Did you know that Avengers Doomsday and Doom Messiah both come out the same time? Is that what you meant? Do we have our new Barbenheimer?" I doubt it. I don't think that'll be a Barbenheimer movement. The thing that made Barbenheimer work is that there was such polar opposite movies. Now, I know Doomsday and Doom Messiah aren't exactly too similar, but they're similar enough in terms of grand action scale films. You would need to do something like Avengers Doomsday, and I don't know. I'm trying to think what would be something that would like qualify into that category. It'd be like Shrek 5, honestly, would be more of like a Barbenheimer type situation. To me, it just makes me feel more bad for Dune Messiah, man, because it always ends up getting overshadowed and it doesn't get the recognition. But hopefully, Vinny Del New will get that more when he starts doing Bond. But I think he's going to kill it with Dune Messiah. Schindler's List 2. Liam Biner says, "Is there any updates on Super Mario movie sequel yet?" No, I know there was that fake leak that we tried talking about the other day. I was about to like make a whole video on it, thinking this got to be real, right? This is real. But was it Mario movie leak? It had me like on the edging. I don't even know if I could find it anymore, but it was like a can of Old Spice. Maybe Mario. I'll just look up Mario Old Spice. Maybe that'll actually pop it up. And I guess someone had photo. Yeah, there we go. It was these cans. It seems so real to me, but I was also like, dude, they have this like far out in advance because this movie isn't anywhere near coming out. They would not be having products in stores and all that. So somebody like photoshopped or put this together, but it looks so real. And it had it had Luigi and Yoshi, and it revealed the title is Super Mario Galaxy, which, dude, I was like, what? They're doing Galaxy for the second movie? That should be the third film because the second movie should be called Super Mario World. And then the third film should be Super Mario Galaxy, But no, it turned out to be fake and not real, and somebody had created it. But I was like, dude, they put in a lot of effort into that. Brooklyn Bounce and Desert Detour, Vanilla Scent of Vanilla Sounds. What does that even mean? How does vanilla sounds, and how does that have a scent? Smashed fruit. Huh. Interesting. All right. Album of 2025, Rest in Bass, Jump Out, or Am I Music? Yummers 11 says, my GF and I broke up today, almost made 2 years in December, so I'm pretty sad about it, but your videos always cheer me up. But despite the bad times, so thanks. Oh, man. Breakups are never good. Your boy has gone through his fair share, cried his eyes out, gone sad, been through that depression mode. Only thing is to tell you, buddy, gets easier. Get off that social media. Don't play the stalker game. You only hurt yourself. You know. And one day you're gonna look back and laugh. You'll be like, I was sad about that. Major is your dad says, in your opinion, what is the greatest comic book movie of all time? I don't want to cop out and say, oh, the first Superman movie, because I didn't really grow up with that. But to me, it'd be Spider-Man 2. I think that's a good mix of everything that just makes comic. I think that's going to be a superhero movie that holds up forever. Aside from that, I like the Captain America First Avenger movie a lot. I love Captain America First Avenger. I think it's like my personal favorite MCU movie. And just the first Avenger movie, though, like with all of them, it hasn't like exactly aged perfectly, but dude, that seeing that movie, it's still like a crazy reminder of everything that led up and how that ended up working out. So I don't know. Those are the three ones I'd put. But I know some people put like The Dark Knight. Some people put like Batman, Tim Burton's Batman, which, yeah, I wouldn't argue with them there. There's a lot of stuff. Broly, LSX7 Broly says, with James Gunn now at DC, do you think it's possible there will be a chance for a DC and Marvel crossover like they've done in the comics? Possibly. I just think there's not enough money in it for either side. Because the way you split up the money on that, wouldn't that go well? Or even if you just do like, oh, part 1, you get this money, DC, and then part 2, you get this movie money, Marvel. I don't know if it would go the way they'd want. It's a possibility, and anything's possible, but we're also at such different vantage points in the MCU and DC. I know we are headed towards the reboot in the MCU. Maybe that could be the outlet for it, but I'd love to see it, but I don't think it's happening. If anything, I think it happened in animated form before it happens in live action form. Kate says, what's funny to me is I don't know Eyes of Wakanda even released, dude. I wouldn't have known if this wasn't my job. It's crazy. They did not do a good job marketing that. Snow Jackson says, DCU post-credit scenes you wish had been paid off. Just for the heck of it, honestly, now that I know we have a separate universe, I kind of would have wanted to see the Nightmare universe play out. I don't like that direction, and I don't like that idea that Batman has to team up with Joker to fight an evil Superman, but just for the sheer crazy weirdness of it, why not, Zack Snyder? Just give it to me and don't hold back. Aside from that, it's not many other post-credit scenes that I can like recall. I wish I could have seen what the original Flash post-credit scene with Ben Affleck Batman, because remember, there was a rumor that Ben Affleck Batman wasn't a post-credit scene, and it was going to be kind of like a callback to, remember when the Flash shows up in the vision of Batman, where he's like, find us, Bruce. You were right, Bruce, find us. It was going to be that again, but this time it was Batman telling the Flash, going, find me. We're still here. Find us, Barry. I would have liked to have seen that. Chap says, have you seen K-Pop Demon Hunters? No, but the chat has bullied me enough that I will watch it tonight once stream ends. Carl Nikwan says, 2 things I want in Beyond the Spider-Verse. First, animated Spider-Man movie to make 1 billion worldwide. That would be awesome, and that would probably be the movie to do it. 2, no more rated PG. Go PG-13. Go all out with this. You know, I would not mind if it stays PG. I feel like they've gotten away with a lot. I mean, the gunshot scene in the first Spider-Verse movie, I was like, I'm surprised that passed through. And I don't think there were some kind of dark themes in Spider-Verse 2. To me, I don't think you need it. But if they want to, sure. I mean, I'm not going to be opposed to it. Eric says, chat, remember, this is the guy that thought Harry was Venom. Haha, let me guess, Chris. Harry is Venom in Brand New Day. JK, I love you. Well, Harry is Venom in Spider-Man. What you talking about? What we talking about here? Chat, remember this guy thought Harry was Venom. Let me guess, Chris. Harry is Venom in Brand New Day. JK, I love you so much more. Harry did end up becoming Venom in Spider-Man. What y'all talking about? Am I crazy? Did he not? It was somebody else? He did, right? Let me see. Is blood slow? I think you're thinking of I think he's confusing it for when I thought Peter was going to be Venom. That's what was I was on. Is like, remember when, and also I was not that far off because Peter does end up giving in to the evilness of the suit, and there's an entire fight between Spider-Man and Miles. So I'll give myself a half point to that. But if you want to get on to me about messing something up, how about that Venom leak I was awfully wrong about? That's why, nope, out of the scooper game once I got that wrong. Peyton Rook says, are you going to review Bad Guys 2? I saw last night. Love it. Worthy sequel and respects the original peak animation and peak action. Unfortunately, probably not, buddy. Like I said, I haven't seen the first Bad Guys, and I'm still behind on other things. And I'm going to start a new review series because I want to post a joint review for you guys. It's an unexpected film. It's not Wolverine. But it is something that I think might not even get that many views, but I kind of just want to do it for the fun of it. And so, yeah, I'm just going to be caught up with stuff. Cam Dice says, was at San Diego Comic-Con in Hall H last week, and the long walk panel was a big surprise. It looks like a sleeper hit. What are your thoughts on this film, and how do you think it'll perform? I remember when I read the plot to this, I thought, that sounds stupid. I saw those trailers, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. I love the idea for it. I can't wait to watch it. Cam Dice says, Weapons looks like the real deal. What are your 3 most anticipated horror films for the rest of this year? Weapons, Black Phone 2, and I know y'all want me to say Five Nights at Freddy's. I am looking forward to it. I don't know if I'd put it all the way up there. Let me see what other horror movies comes out. I'll put it in there for right now until I look at the list of other horror movies coming out. What other horror movies are coming out this year? So y'all chat will let me know. I don't count Predator Badlands. I feel like that's more action based, but I guess if you want to count Predator Badlands, I would definitely not argue with you there. Together, Witchboard. Here's I found a list, but and not even Conjuring Last Rites. I don't even think Conjuring would be up there. Him? I think Him would definitely be up there, if not The Long Walk. I guess The Long Walk is kind of horror-esque. I think Him. I'm curious about Shelby Oaks, though. I still want to see that trailer. I was so mad. People were saying that they were playing the trailer for Shelby Oaks in front of what movie just came out? I just went to go see. Oh, Together. It didn't play in front of my screening of Together.
Shit, Chad.
Ariel L says, hey 3C, keep doing what you're doing. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. GJ2 Indy says, bro, please review the new world. I think Jeremy Johns also just reviewed it. So, and just know that anytime Jeremy reviews something for me, it's almost like, dang, well, there goes my views. If I could just, anytime I can beat Jeremy to a review, it helps. Okay. Cause then that's just like, oh, come to Papa here, buddy. But, oh dude, that looks atrocious. That movie, if you guys don't know, that it's like a new reboot or a new iteration of War of the Worlds. There was an original movie made with Steven Spielberg, and this new one's with Ice Cube, and it's all told through like computer screens, almost like the movie Searching, which I'm not opposed to that style. I think if done right, it can be very effective, which I think Searching is a good example of that. This does not look effective. The Archive says, could this be the start of the downfall of Ruffalo's Hulk with a potential sacrifice in Secret Wars, or will he stick around after the multiverse saga? I think there's a good chance Hulk sticks around. But yeah, I wouldn't mind if they did do like a reset and maybe they recast that Hulk. I mean, Ruffalo's been doing it for a long time. Wyoming 408 says, dance, monkey. Okay. Twerk. Okay. The Archive says, you see the trailer for the movie Primitive War? I am interested to see that. It looks like a bunch of soldiers that encounter dinosaurs. Looks like that could be a lot of fun. Orangutan says, did we already talk about how the comics Boomerang and Spider-Man are roommates? And they were roommates. Yeah, in the comics, they flip-flop between being enemies and being friends. Maybe that does happen. Maybe that's something that happens a lot of times in Spider-Man comics. It's like someone that Spider-Man has a personal relationship ends up being a bad guy. Maybe there's a tenant in his building that he gets along with, says hi to, and he's like, oh, dude, you're into crime fighting, which could go back to my theory that Spider-Man is soft on the villains of Tarantula and Boomerang, sees them as kind of like a joke down the wrong path villains, and Frank Castle's just, "Ah, let me at him, Red. Let me tell you something, Red." It's my Punisher impression. Dato says, can you hey Hunter? Hey Hunter. Hey. Whatever that was. Diabetes Down says one big sausage for the Hulk pizza. Just one huge sausage. That would be crazy. Not even uncut. Just have it there on top of the pizza. Spider 115 says thoughts on Blade and Marvel Rivals Hella design. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, if you're asking me to Google something, Marvel Rivals Hella. All right, let's take a good look at this. Not enough skin for my taste. 7 out of 10. Professionator says, did you see Pixar has approached Hungarian director Dominic Snuts to direct a film about teeth called In Your Mouth? Thoughts on the possibility of Doctor of D? That's a good one. It's a nice attempt. I caught it. You ain't gonna get me, buddy. I was like, where are you going with this? Colin Walker says, hear me out. Caleb McLaughlin as MCU Miles Morales. He's too old, buddy. Way too old to be whatchamacallit, Miles. I think maybe 5 years ago, perhaps. But have you looked at him lately? Because bro is gonna pray the Prowler now. He's got a full-on beard, full-on stash, and he's only getting older now as we continue on. Honestly, I think when he looked like this, maybe probably perfect Miles. Yeah, I think that could have worked really well. Honestly, would not even mind a Miles starting this young. Y'all think I'm crazy, but I think it could work. I think that's always the fun of having like such a young. That's Prowler, buddy. That's Aaron Davis. That he's about to put his hand on Miles' shoulder and go, come crime fight with me. Come on, let's go rob that bank. Come on. But yeah, 5 years ago, I think he definitely would have been a good Miles. I just think no, not right now. Unfortunately, he's a good actor though. Static Shock, let's do it. If they can get that movie off the ground. Eric says, do you think with all the street level stuff with Daredevil and Spider-Man, we are leading to a mini end game, but with all the street level heroes, Daredevil's debut movie could be titled Daredevil, Devil's Reign with everyone. I think unfortunately Marvel is going to want to keep Daredevil on Disney Plus and have him be there. I would much rather get a Daredevil movie, something like that. That would be cool, but until we get there, man, until we get there. Nerd Boy says 3C beats drop and win. Bro was on to nothing. S Train says Superman felt like it started at 3 of a 6-issue arc. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, it's like I said, it was like we were like in season 5 of a 10-season show, and we were just like thrown into everything. I think it still worked. I still liked it. Captain Obvious says thoughts on a possible Punisher popcorn bucket for Brand New Day. That's a hard one. I mean, the Punisher symbol would be very cool. If not that, like Frank Castle holding a gun, I don't know if they'd want to do a gun popcorn bucket for a Spider-Man movie. But hey, Disney approved a Wolvussy, so why not, right? LG Internet says they took away Big Texas boots, Chris. Oh no, is that like at the state fair or something? Not his boots. Jack Collect says, hopefully Marvel doesn't make Scorpion a one and done opening battle scene. I'd rather save him for another movie if so. Yeah, like I still think they could build up to Peter's own Sinister Six. Here's my list. So you have Scorpion. So I think you do Scorpion with Vulture. So you do Scorpion and Vulture from from Homecoming. Yeah, here we go. Do Scorpion and Vulture, Homecoming. So it's 2 members right there. You add in Shocker, who also is hanging around somewhere. That's 3. We got half of them there. Now this is where I start to wonder then who were the other two. I don't mind the idea of them bringing back Mysterio again as just in hologram form, because those people who are controlling those drones are still out there. They're free. Only Jake Gyllenhaal and the world still thinks Mysterio's a good guy, so they wouldn't even be arrested or anything. They'd just be out there like, dang, can you guys believe we got away with all this stuff? Damn. So bring back Mysterio as just like a hologram being controlled by those scientist people Jake Gyllenhaal was working with. There's 4 members. Who else you got? Tombstone. I don't, because I want something more in play. Tombstone is a little bit more of like a commander who sometimes has to fight. Yeah, a hologram. You know what I mean? A hologram. The same way his drones, the way that Mysterio was a let's see. Mysterio hologram technology. He's literally just there through the holograms, the things that they showed us in Far From Home. These little drones. Just have the people and the nerds that control these, and there you go. Like, hey, they were a big threat. They do a lot of crazy stuff with them. I say he just comes back as the hologram. I mean, some of y'all know what I'm saying. I think Ned could work. I think that they are going to build to Ned being a bad guy now that he has forgotten his best friend, and they're going to be able to pay off that line where Ned's like, I'll never turn on you, buddy. Well, you are, and you're not even going to know it, my friend. So we'll see. I think they could. I think they could. Adrian Moyo says, Chris, I want to put my silver spoon in her silver cheeks. Denied. Karate Kick 4D says, hey, Chris, steal your handsome IOK and run. Give it back. It's all I have. Austin Kate says, companion or Final Destination Bloodlines is the tie for the best horror movie. I had fun with Final Destination Bloodlines. I had my fun with it. I wouldn't know if it's one of the best, but I did have my fun with it. If I did have to choose, I'd choose Companion over Final Destination. I said what I said. Final Destination was a lot of fun. Adventures with Parker and Dad says, have you seen Screamboat? If so, what did you think? I have not seen Screamboat. That is one of the Spook Your Mama videos for that month. I will be reviewing like 5 or 6 different Mickey Mouse horror movies, and Screamboat will be one of them. Cam Dye says, everyone is talking about Zootopia 2 and Avatar 3 as easy billion-dollar movies. I think Wicked will get there too. Any others this year? Avatar for sure. I think Zootopia, you're right, does have a really good chance. Wicked probably does as well. The Wicked hype was crazy, and I think enough people have seen it now to be part of the hype. That's about it, man. I can't think of any other movie that would even come close. I know Smurfs. Get out of here. Ain't no way Smurfs is coming. I know people want to say like Five Nights, but no, Five Nights will make a good amount back and have a nice profit, but I don't know. F1 is halfway to $1 billion, and Superman. Yeah, unfortunately, Superman's not going to cross that line, but it'd be awesome if it gets to like 700. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Wicked Part 2, man. It could. I was actually surprised I liked the first Wicked. I didn't think I was going to care. Unfortunately, Fantastic Four does not. It's going to have about as much money as Superman made with the current tracking. M King 11 says speculation Doctor Strange 3 to come between Doomsday and Secret Wars. What do you think? I wouldn't mind it. Maybe there's stuff they could set up in there, but as of right now, I feel like that's the only movies we're getting is just Spider-Man, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. We'll see if they throw another one in there though. Brando H says, "Are you ready for weapons?" I'm very excited. Also, you a fan of Dexter series? It's one of my favorite shows. No one's doing great so far. I heard the new season is great. I still need to finish the old Dexter. I think like I'm on season 5, so I do need to burn through that when I have time, and then I can get to giving you my thoughts on the newer stuff. Chris, oh my goodness, Adrian. Reed Jackson Media says also was able to get a 4K OLED monitor thanks to you guys and Chris. Thank you. Hey, no problem, Reed. And I'll keep handing you some work, buddy. You've been doing great. You've helped a lot with the channel. Let me know if a 4K OLED monitor is worth it. I've wanted one too, but I'm scared about burning. You know, screen burn. I leave my monitors on a lot. Lizard Chef says was really disappointed by Fantastic Four. The story fell off. I totally disagree. I thought Fantastic Four was so good in its story. Yeah, it had me glued, but man, everybody's got an opinion. Casey Max says, have you or do you have any interest of seeing Bad Guys 2? I actually saw it the other night. And I gotta say, maybe the better than the first movie. Honestly, don't. I don't know what it is. It's just like I think it's because I saw a short for it. I think it was in front of Wild Robot. Yeah, I think it was in front of the Wild Robot. They played a Bad Guy short, and I was like, I don't like this, and so I didn't go pursue the first or the second one. But if you say it's good, you could bully me into it like people have for Demon Hunters. Vino Bambino says, giving us the 3C guarantee, who will be in Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars that hasn't been confirmed? I'm going to say Ghost Rider. I think Ghost Rider is going to be in there. Ghost Rider for sure. And like Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider. Could be other Ghost Rider, but I think Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider. And Hugh Jackman Wolverine. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Film Phantom says, hoping that Spidey meets the F4 someday in the MCU. Yeah, either in the Fantastic Four sequel or in Spider-Man's own sequel. I wouldn't mind the Fantastic Four being part of a story. Especially they could get so much science bro moments going on with that. I would love that. Anthony says, remember on the F4 Spoiler live stream when you wanted Super Chats to ask you questions about movies, but they kept saying stuff like Fantastic Goon, and you put in the Super Chat on timeout. I do remember that, Anthony. It was a crazy time in the channel. And we still have that issue to today. We must rid the world of Goon. Vino El Bambino says, high school lore, weird classes, classmates, PE stories, fights, food fights, picture day. We need to know about Young 3C. I would say I was in that middle group. I wasn't the popular kids, but I was no loser either. I ain't no loser. I was hip. I was cool in my own little circle. I honestly don't. I'm sure I have, but I need to think of something specifically. Nothing much, man. Kind of just kept to myself, did what I needed to. I was an all right student. I got all types of grades. There were some classes I'd get A's, some classes I'd get B's, and there'd always be only like one class I'd get a C, and it'd usually be history class. I know people be like, history is the easiest. Can't remember worth a crap. Mainly because I can't remember what I don't have an interest in. So, like, I could tell you a movie news story that came out 10 years ago right off the bat. Because I love movies and movie news. Who saved the slaves? Oh, Abraham Goonkin? The Fergus Review channel says, I just sent you an email. Oh, I will check that email. Thank you, Fergus. Nifty Monster says, would you rather never have any DC movies or no Marvel movies? If I'm going with the quality of them, and because Marvel encompasses Spider-Man and Spider-Man is my bro, I'm going to have to say no DC movies. Jonathan Fork says, hot take, Thunderbolts is slightly better than Fantastic Four. Thunderbolts has more fleshed out and complete story, whereas Fantastic Four feels slightly rushed in my opinion and underdeveloped villains. Okay, that's fine. I enjoyed Thunderbolts. I just think there was a lot more about Fantastic Four that I liked. I had more issues with Thunderbolts over Fantastic Four, but hey, I've seen other people say that too. I think I was listening to the Weekly Planet and was not Mason, but the other one, Mr. Sunday, I forget his name. He preferred Thunderbolts over Fantastic Four. I was like, oh, interesting. Better not let me catch you in Australia, fool. No, I love the Weekly Planet. Devin Harwood says, hey, Chris, Devin here. Hope you're doing well. Do you think Avengers Doomsday will be delayed again, even though the rumor is Doctor Strange 3 will fill in the unannounced project for Marvel? I think there is a good shot with all the reports that they're still writing the script, still figuring things out. Then, yeah, that screams that there's a delay probably imminent with that movie, but they could still figure it out and knock it out. Michael Thompson says, which of your family members watches your videos? Oh, dude, a lot. You know, the most surprising one, which I kind of wish they did it. No offense to them, because I love that they do it. My mother-in-law. My mother-in-law watches all my YouTube videos. I think maybe even sometimes the streams, which I'm like, you don't have to. They're so long. And my mother-in-law is such a religious, nice lady. She's very big into the church. And you guys see some of the crazy, weird stuff I do on here. But she, I think, out of all my family members, is the one that watches like everything. Even she has no interest or care. I think it's also because she thinks like one viewer gives me that much more money, which I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but like if one person stopped watching, it's not going to hurt my channel view count all that much. But I think she thinks like by being a viewer, she's helping with my income and helping to make sure I can afford my life. I don't know. So I don't think she watches live. It's more of the thing that she cleans houses for a living. I think she like pops my videos on while she cleans houses. So your boy's in a Silver Surfer outfit acting a fool. She's qué interesante. Interesting. But I love her. It's so nice that she does that. Other than that, yeah, I have my dad will every now and then tell me. I don't know if he watches everything, but he'll hit me with, "Oh, I just saw you did that thing. That was cool." And I was like, "Thanks, Dad." Wonk Atreides says, "What career would you have done if YouTube didn't pop?" I would have figured out some other business. I think I've always had it in my blood to be my own boss because I am just very bad with people telling me what to do. I just don't like it. Ever since I was a kid or in high school, I hate people telling me what to do, and I never stayed in I never stayed in a job more than a year. Whatever job I had anywhere, whether it was Subway, Sprint, Sunglass Hut, call centers, always around the 1 year mark, I'd get sick of it. I'd get sick of being told what to do. I'd leave and find something else. So I still would have figured out something where I could be my own boss. I'd honestly, you want me to be honest? I'd probably be one of those hustlers, those guys you see sometimes who's like, I have 10 vending machines and they're making me $5 a day. I started a car detailing business. I'm making $2 a day. I would have ended up doing something like that. I would have ended up figuring out some sort of side hustle, something like that. Yeah. Someone says, "Did you skip a super?" I didn't see a super chat skipped. I still see it. But yeah, that's probably what I would have ended up doing. I Love Movie says, "Crazy, we're going to get a new Spider-Man movie and then Doomsday next year. We're in for peak, ladies and gents." Oh, it is going to be a peak year. If Spider-Man doesn't end up moving, man, I'm starting to think maybe it's probably not going to. People have brought up that Fantastic Four was able to do it within the year time span. And Kevin Feige did say in an interview not too long ago, I think he talked to the people who made Godzilla -1 or some other movie, and he's figured out or he's gotten to a point where he can do VFX much faster now. Don't know how, but hopefully it's not with AI, but we'll see. Wolverine video when? Before my channel dies. Infriend's second account says, "Currently directing a short film. Would you love to get a private reaction to it when it's out? Just tag me in it, buddy. I'll see what I can do." James says, "In a maid outfit right now." Insanity. Elpa says, "You think Frank would get an Iron Man suit just to fight Hulk like how he does in the comics?" See, like, I'm thinking that's what's probably going to end up happening. I was just talking about that. I'd prefer Frank not, but I guess if he's going up to the Hulk, he's got to do something. So I guess it would make sense. Cam Dice says, "The Batman is the best post-pandemic superhero film." Agree. Yeah, probably. That's probably the one I would hold to the most highest regard. Like, Spider-Man is for different nostalgic personal reasons of why I really love, but if I am comparing it just overall movie-wise, it would probably still be the Batman, definitely over Superman. No offense, Superman. Really enjoyed you. But I think you're right on that. Batman for me. Global Globler says, "Have you seen Punisher set leaks from the special?" I have, and it's him talking to that Ganucci lady that we talked about. That one, I don't know if you guys saw on the Clips channel when I was talking about it, but it's for his special. It's not for Spider-Man, like you mentioned. Let's see here. Punisher set photos. Let me see if I get it. Set photos. Yeah, he's talking to Miss Ganucci. Right here, the lady in the wheelchair. We talked about her crazy shenanigans. In the comics, Frank has killed her sons, so she's like on a vendetta to get revenge. Right here, it kind of looks like they're talking and working something out. So we'll see what ends up happening. But oh, good stuff. I can't wait. Oh, dude, that's Punisher right there. Look at that face. Craziness. All right. Angel Martinez says, Chris, I live in Ennis. I really hope to meet you one day and get a pic with you. I've been watching your videos since the beginning. Oh, I'm sure we'll bump into each other, my friend. Or I'll come find you. And I'll give you a picture one way or another. Leyland Sparlin says, I'm praying Daredevil in Spider-Man. Dude, it'd be so nice. But right now it feels like there's so many characters, so many other things. Does not look like that's what's going to end up happening. But it'd be great. They set up Charlie Cox in No Way Home. Put him in that suit. NFA Football says, can you rank these movies in which you would hate to see flop the most? Batman Part 2, Brand New Day, Doomsday, or Across the Spider-Verse? Rank them in the ones I would hate to see flop the most. Okay, number 1 would probably be Batman Part 2. The only reason I say that is because I think there is some possibility of it with the large gap we have in between the sequels. So much superhero saturation is going on where there is superhero fatigue, whether we like to admit it or not. And I think if it does end up flopping or just doesn't perform as well, there is no reason for James Gunn to do Batman 3 when Batman Brave and the Bold is something that's next on his list. So there's a lot riding on Batman Part 2 and just getting one trilogy with Robert Pattinson, which I would really like. So number 1, Batman Brave and the Bold. Obviously, Spider-Man Brand New Day. I talk a big game about like, we need to go street level in classic Spider-Man story. If that ends up flopping, they're going to be like, well, John Watts was the only and correct way to make Spider-Man movies since his all made $1 billion. All of them have really good reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. But I don't want that corporate Spider-Man movie all the time. Beyond the Spider-Verse, and then Doomsday. Of course, I'd be sad if Doomsday flops, but I'm out. One, it's not gonna happen. It's an Avenger movie. But if it does end up underperforming, not gonna be surprised with the little amount of buildup they have done for that. It's like, can you be shocked, Feige? Half of the heroes you're setting up in here were on Disney Plus, and those shows were not getting all those views. We shocked, Hat Man? Bruh Community says, you think it's possible they kill off Frank since he's going up heavy hitters in Brand New Day and we're getting a reset and they recast him after Secret Wars? No, they just brought him back. I think there's still plenty left in the tank for Frank. I don't think they kill him off. They could do an ambiguous death where maybe Spider-Man's like, bye-bye, Mr. Castle. That's about it. Eyes of Wakanda is not about past Black Panthers. It's actually about the history of War Dogs of Wakanda. You couldn't let me stay delusional, Mr. Silva? Lex says, I saw a post saying they casted Liza Collins Zays for Spider-Man 4. Is she Rio Morales? Oh, yeah, we did talk about that. She's from the Bear, right? No. Oh, we talked about that way long ago whenever that casting announcement got announced. She could possibly end up being Rio Morales, or she just could end up being someone who lives in Peter's building, a co-worker of his, something like that. I think Rio... I don't think it'll end up being Rio, but she could. Punisher is out. My apartment. Where's red lights from? Red lights just because I like red lights. I don't know about this Punisher stuff though. Romeo says, top 5 movies of all time in your opinion. Oh, yeah, I get what you're saying. I was just messing with you, adding a little bit of humor to the stream, buddy. But yeah, I did answer that. Papi Samba Briam says, did you realize how Galactus stayed in the same size the entire movie? Kind of disappointed. Would love to see him tower over Earth like Arhim. Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's where he was headed if he continues devouring and devouring and devouring, but I didn't mind it. I thought it worked for what the movie did. Big Baby said, saw the premiere of Weapons last night. Saw Kreger has so outdone himself. Austin Abrams and Amy Madigan are complete standouts. Movie of the year. Ooh, excited for Tuesday when I see it. Thank you for that, buddy. Vosklin says, sadly, Superman barely lasted in my movie theater nearby. Saludos desde Guatemala. Oh, dude, let me tell you, my best friend Guatemalan, Tell me some slurs for Guatemalans, because I bully him. That was an insane thing to say, was it? I kid, Guatemalans. I love your guys' food. There's a great Guatemalan bakery. Give it to me, please. Need more Jarrito sponsors. Snowell Jackson says, have you ever played Red Dead Redemption 1 and 2? I have not. They look like it'd be a game I would like, but it also feels like a game that I'd consume 30, 40 hours in, that I would probably need to spend on other content and watching stuff. Chapines. Okay, I'll remember that one. Chapines? Cerrotes? Cerrote? Okay. I'm gonna call my Guatemalan friend that. Ooh, I'm gonna take a screenshot of that. He's my best friend. He's my best friend. He's a real my uncle. Nick Kick-Ass is one of the greatest movies of all time. Not 2 though. Yeah, not 2. Oh man, I had such high hopes for 2. I thought 2 was gonna be awesome with Jim Carrey's inclusion, and it had the potential to possibly be, but dang, they did not. But I love that first Kick-Ass a lot. Bro, did you see the photos of Michael Mando on the street in Glasgow? Don't you lie to me. No, don't tell me there's Michael Mando. Mando set photo. Don't lie. Don't lie, buddy. I don't see no Michael Mando set photos. Michael Mando. Oh, is it this one? No, throwback. I don't see no set photos. You dare lie to my face? I don't know if you saw somebody. You might have gotten played. You might have gotten played. I don't see nothing. It would be all over the web if it was. All right. BK, thank you, Burger King. Mr. Fanatic says, how much money do you think a Spawn movie could pull in, and do you think independent comic characters have a chance of bringing in a new era of comic book movies? It all depends, man. It depends on the star, and actually, like, I know this is like so cliche to say, it genuinely depends on how good the movie looks and its marketing. That's like the make or break thing. I don't even think the stars of the movie matter all that much. You have people now who get mad if a celebrity shows up in too many movies. It's been an ongoing joke the past couple weeks that people are mad how many movies Pedro Pascal is in, whether Eddington, Materialist, and what was the most recent one? Fantastic Four. And people are just joking around. Like, people just, the movie star is not really existent for a lot of people. But for Spawn, as cool of a character it is, I don't think the potential for it is that high, and that's why it's Blumhouse making it, and they're going with a modest budget. Like their cap is going to be 200 million. Honestly, and that's being so generous. Ghost BC fan says, you going to see Bambi the Reckoning? I heard it's doing really well, and it's being said to be the best movie so far in the Pooniverse. I know, that's why I gotta check it out. Payne Rourke says, is Thanksgiving 2 even happening this year? I heard no updates on the film at all. I saw someone say that they're planning to start filming in March of next year so that it would be ready by fall of that year. So that's what could happen. But then again, take that with a grain of salt, because it's just something I just saw someone said on my timeline. Burger King says, what was the DC museum looking place that you went to in your buying everything Superman video? I sent you a super chat, forgot to type. Oh, it's this place that they have in Texas. It's the place is called the Gaylord. The Gaylord. It's the real name of the place. Had to go in by saying, hey. All right, you're welcome in. The Gaylord, Texas Universe of Light. It was cool. Here in Texas, it's just like this big old place, and they decorate it for different stuff. But this is where I went. I just thought it was nearby. There's never anything cool in Texas, and I saw they even had a Superman section for the new movie, so I was like, oh, I had to go. But I'm not sure if it's something that's nationwide. It could just be a Texas-only thing. I don't know. But that's where I went. Mr. Everything says, just replied to your story today. Hope you catch it. Lelanol. All right. I will look through my DMs. Jace Hoop says, hey 3C, I've been a fan for so long, watch all your videos, and was wondering if I could get a quick shout out. Yes, Jay Hoops. Look at him with his profile of shoes. Ballin'. Bro, if the C in 3C is your name, then what is the 3? The C is not my name. In my name. That's why in my rating, I'm emphasizing more the 3 C's whenever I talk about my final scale for a movie. 3 C's represents the 3 type of moviegoers I see: the casual, the cinephile, the critic. There you go, bro. Tara on Elm Street says, "Have you seen Coraline?" Yes, that's my lady's favorite movie. Mine's is Back to the Future. Hers is Coraline. I always joke with her how much the guy whose head is like this the whole movie pisses me off. Anytime we watch that movie, I always make fun of that guy because I can't stand that his head is sideways the whole movie. I just want to go up to that kid and turn it the right way, even if it causes his death. The moment I hear that and the head is straight, everything that I have, praise the Lord. Hey, I miss you. Favorite Spook Your Mama movies? Ooh, there's a lot of movies. I want to start doing review series. Now that I've gotten into a rhythm with my editor, and it seems like we're on a good path. We just got to figure out the censorship thing because that's the thing that can kill us as a censorship. I want to review the Hatchet movies, the Wrong Turn movies, a bunch of like random horror movie series. So I'm thinking about doing that kind of stuff for Spook Your Mama season. But if my all-time favorite, Nightmare on Elm Street, buddy. Nightmare on Elm Street. Terror on Elm Street says, "If you haven't, you should review it at least on live." Oh yeah, I've seen Coraline. I know there's a lot of movies I don't see, but I'm still a movie connoisseur, and I have seen the majority of movies. But there is always going to be a handful of blind spots, just like in any movie fans view. Michael Chundra says, "How would you feel if Doomsday and Secret Wars was a disappointment?" I think I'll be more okay with Secret Wars because if Doomsday's a disappointment, then I'll already be soft cushion into Secret Wars, and even and I think Doomsday being a disappointment would hurt more because it's like, dang, we don't have a good setup going into Secret Wars. To me, if Secret Wars ends up being the disappointment, it's almost okay because we're headed towards a reboot. All of this that I just watched don't even matter because it's wiped under the rug, and we're kind of starting on a new slate. So Doomsday being the disappointment would be bigger for me because it's like, dang, I really wanted to go into Secret Wars hyped and excited. Apple Smoothie says, "I coon to you, my cute little chubby boy." Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you very much. Bro, honestly, I'm not going to lie. The Spider-Man trilogy could go anywhere. Firstly, they have to introduce Miles in some capacity, set him up, agree, and they have to pay off the symbiote in one of the movies. Oof. So I wonder if they're going to do the whole thing that the symbiote turns him evil. I feel like they're going to take inspiration from the Spider-Man 2 video game. So far, with everything they're doing, they're taking inspiration with Spider-Man PS4, and then they're going to take inspiration with Spider-Man 2 PS5. Eric Garcia says, Bruce Banner created the spider that bit Peter. Oh, that would be crazy. Maybe he was testing gamma radiation on a spider. Interesting. That would be interesting. Caleb Hepner says, "What movie traumatized you when you were young?" To me, it was Batman Begins, of Bruce's origin story, and after that, I never trust an alley after that. Ooh, dang. Movie that traumatized me as a kid. Aside from like horror movies, just like random little, not very many, my guy, because I liked horror at a young age. So like anything creepy as a kid, I just kind of was like, "Oh, this is sick. This is pretty cool." Um, I'm trying to think. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I think Batman Returns because I was like, this is supposed to be a superhero movie, and you got a guy biting people's noses, and I was like, oh, was it at least tasty, Mr. Penguin? You know what? Small Soldiers. I will say Small Soldiers. I know that the director of that movie was just talking about he wants to do a sequel. It's time. I'd love to have another Small Soldiers movie. But in that movie, the Barbies, that was a confusing thing to watch. I watched that a little young, the type of young where you start to get funny feelings, and you can't explain why you have that funny feeling. Them naked Barbie dolls were doing something to me. I'm not lying. I said what I said. I admitted it. That was gonna go to my grave, but I'm here sharing it with you because I trust you. Them Barbie doll scene was confusing my emotions. So I was like, oh, I mean, who would know? But then I'm also like, damn, they scary. They killers. Ugh. I said what I said. I said what I said. I'm waiting to see if anyone in the chat agrees with me. Nobody in the chat agreeing with me. They said that should have gone to the grave, bro. Shoulda went to the grave. I hate y'all. You're so funny. Yep. Shoulda went to the grave. I was vulnerable with you. Oh, okay, low key same. Hey, MJ was in that one. Kristen Dunst. Mary Jane. Mary Jane, no. And she was a teen in that. So I saw that young then. See, I'm trying to find. Okay, what movie traumatized you? We just did that one. Die Beatdown says we better get a Hulk popcorn bucket from Thor Ragnarok when he's staring out the window. Hey, them green cheeks. Jay Super says, "Hi 3C, been watching all your videos. Please have a shout out." See how I read that? See how I had no issue, no stutter, just went along with it like it wasn't all one complete word? Thank you for showing my intellect, Jace Hopes. Peyton Rourke says, are you going to see the 20th anniversary of the 4-year-old version and the 50th anniversary of Jaws? 50th anniversary of Jaws for sure. I'm seeing both. I can't wait for Jaws. I don't think 40-year-old version is a movie I want to see in theaters. I try to save re-releases for movies that's like, oh man, I didn't get to see that in theaters, so I want to. I like 40-year-old version. It is probably one of my favorite comedies. I even had the Funko Pop of Steve Carell's character from that movie. But it's not a movie I feel like I need to see in theaters. It's like I can pop that on at home and have the same impact. I would like to see Jaws on the big screen. Alkia says, my grandma passed away March 2024. One of my dogs passed in June 2025. And now my mom is in the... Oh, my goodness. Any encouraging words? Oh, man. Well, I'm sorry. I hope everything works out. I'm really sorry for that. I wish I was better at these kinds of situations, man. Oh, that's a lot to take in. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, and I just hope you get through it. And I hope my videos bring you a little comfort, and I can distract you with my funniness. Iban says, I hope the MCU gives us Matt Gargan Venom after the trailer. You know, I was like not in love with that idea, but we've already done Eddie Brock, and people are so synonymous with Eddie now with Tom Hardy's version. There's too much compare and contrast. A Matt Gargan Venom could work, especially if he has the the arm that doesn't work from the end of Homecoming, that's all broken and busted. The symbiote would give him that ability back, and he'd feel empowered. I don't know. Could be a thing that maybe he's like paralyzed unless he has the scorpion suit on. So like the symbiote is more of a permanent solution for him. I don't know. G says, please dwag for me three. Please dwerk. I don't know what dwerk is, buddy. King Steve says, been watching Stinger Sonic. You play new Donkey Kong? I've only played like 30 minutes of the new Donkey Kong. I have not had time. I do have it on my Switch too, but I want to get to it, man. I feel like I want to plan just a getaway to go somewhere, relax and chill, and just play my Donkey Kong game. But I do like what I have played so far. Hey, I miss you. How long have you and Reed known work together? I think he hit me up last year. About like a year and 6 months. It's been on and off trying to, work on our style and all. That's the hardest part of finding an editor. Just finding someone that can match my style, that doesn't make it too unfamiliar and unpleasing to fans, can enhance my jokes, things like that. Play Gaming 934 says, what do you think Marvel would do for an Avengers Doomsday popcorn bucket? And what are the chances it costs more than Galactus one? I think for Doom, it'd have to be like Doom on his throne. It'd probably have to be the Doctor Doom mask, and they'd have to find a way for you to be able to wear the mask, kind of the way they did with the Gladiator or the Red Guardian one. Other than that, I'm not sure what else they could do, like a Doom hand. Doom hand could be kind of cool. I'm not too sure. It says, look at the chat. What's in the chat? I don't see nothing. Bro, Daredevil got it. What? What is going on? Some people saying, oh, read the chat. What's happening in the chat? I'm waiting. Kingpin come. Is there something going on? Kingpin. I'm looking. Right now it's a rumor. But has any websites actually confirmed it? I don't see any confirmations. I just see some who's the main source behind it. Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin will make an appearance in Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's coming from a scooper who follows me, which no offense, but when a scooper usually follows me, it makes me not trust them as much. Because it's like, I'm just a goof, man. You follow me, you ain't a real scooper. I trust the scoopers that don't follow me. Vincent D'Onofrio Kingpin will make an appearance in Spider-Man Brand New Day. At this stage, it's been stated this can either be in photos, news reports, or an actual. Y'all had me. Chris, read the chat. Read the chat, Chris. Chris, the chat. All for at this stage, it can either be in photos, news reports, or an actual presence in. Bro's gonna end up on the TV when freaking Tom Holland is going to the convenience store to buy a sandwich, and he's like, "Oh, I can't believe Fisk is mayor." I hate y'all. I hate all y'all. Whatever. Let's see what else they're saying. Kingpin helps ties Daredevil and Spider-Man even further if the route they're going for in the future. Damn, these are just speculation. I mean, I'm sure Kingpin could have a small part as mayor of New York, and he probably will be shown in like just like I said, like probably posters of Mayor Fisk, news reports. It does not sound like he's going to be a major part of the movie though. And I think he's gonna have to be mentioned because I think it's obvious the reason we have all these villains, whether it's Tombstone, it's Mr. Negative, it's Scorpion, all these guys are fighting for the open space Kingpin left in. So some of these guys are gonna be like, hey, now that Fisk is out of the picture and running for mayor, we's got to get in on this empire. I feel like that's it. That's it. That's it, chat. Bro, I went on a trip to London. I didn't plan it just to see Doomsday set, but that was a big reason. I tried to visit the set, but I couldn't see anything. I did meet Anthony Mackie at a bar, though. Oh, sounds like you stalking, buddy. Sounds like you stalking. What Anthony smell like? Describe it to me. Oh, that's my Captain America. That's what, I don't know why. That's always the thing I'm curious about when I meet celebrities. What do they smell like? Do they give off an aura? Is there a pheromone? What's their cologne? When I met Miles Teller, that's the only thing I got from that. Is like, dude, bro smells rich. Bro smelled like he wore a cologne that cost at least $300. Mr. Miyagi, I think Spider-Man dies from Scorpion. Then the symbiote brings him back to life for Secret Wars. What do you think about that prediction? I could see something like that. We were seeing in a lot of the Pinterest posts that Spider-Man is going to get beat up. Spider-Man is going to get tossed around, a lot of battle damage, a lot of that. I could see something where the symbiote brings him not back, but saves him on the verge of dying, and that kind of leads us into the next story. But I don't think the movie will end with him dying, and then Secret Wars we find out he lived. I don't think they would do something like that. Jaden Cole says, do you think Mephisto is going to affect Peter? And do you think Noel will return? No, Noel is gone. They're done with that Noel stuff. You think the symbiote will be in the MCU eventually? Oh yeah, the symbiote is for sure coming. Just not gonna be in this movie. It's just gonna be slightly teased, and it's probably the next movie where it'll be more done. Mephisto, I don't even know, buddy. Lance Palmero says, have you seen The Edge of Sleep? Markiplier's acting was so good in that show. You should watch it. I do want to watch it for Markiplier. Antonio sends in some love. Thank you, Antonio. Jonathan Fox says, you going to Halloween Horror Nights this year? I am slightly intrigued just for the FNAF movie house. Yeah, for the FNAF, for the Terrifier, for the Jason house. I mean, I know I've been talking smack at the Jason universe, but it's a freaking Jason Voorhees house. I want to see what they do with it. Ape Ross says, Hulk is legit moist. Antonio says, we met at MegaCon Orlando. You complimented my tattoo and said you were too scared to get yours. When are you going to give in? I know, man. See, I was telling the truth then. I'm telling the truth now. I will get one, but I'm too scared. I'll give in eventually. JT Hiskey says, is there any reason that the ship in the Fantastic Four has 3 fins, but the ship in the Thunderbolts credit scene has 4 fins? It's a different ship. Feige confirmed it, but why? Thank you so much. It seems obvious now that Feige was just messing with us, pulling our leg, because now that we know, spoilers, it's not the giant spoiler, but it is a spoiler. When the movie ends and we get to the post-credit scene, 4 years have gone by since the events of the movie. I think it's pretty safe to assume they would build another ship and maybe one with more reinforcements. Thus, they have a 4th fin added. So I think Feige was just messing with us. Lex Luthor Superman sucked. It's mid should be called Super. Lex Luthor, how dare you? I am selling all my Luthor Corp stock. Ronnie Martinez says, if you could go to Earth 2, where none of the movies we know exist, what 3 movies would you direct in that world and take credit for, dude? I've thought about that before. I'm like, if this movie didn't exist, or I could go back in the past. 1, Back to the Future. I'm making that Back to the Future trilogy because you have to bless the world with that. Nightmare on Elm Street, because that's just such a cool character. Who wouldn't want to do some Freddy movies? This is the most basic ones. And Scream, I would love, but then you'd have to, is there horror genre like that? Because if not, then I'd have to start from the beginning. I have to make Halloween, then I have to make Texas Chainsaw. I have to make all the movies that eventually make Scream look so innovative. Because if you just make Scream without Halloween, Texas Chainsaw, all these other movies existing, you're just like, what does this guy think he's Einstein? What is this? So Back to the Future, Nightmare on Elm Street. I'm gonna throw in something a little high. And I'd make, you can't even make Titanic. If they didn't make a Titanic movie, did Titanic happen on this other Earth? I'm gonna have to kill a cruise ship just so I can make Titanic. And I is that even the Titanic song? I don't think it is. We'll always love you. TM, can't wait for Weapons. Drops on my dad's birthday. Ooh. Well, happy birthday to your dad. C Black says MCU next 3 films will make $1 billion each, most likely. With Spider-Man, Doomsday, Secret Wars, it's $1 billion run for sure. Mr. Death says my account, Mr. Death 12, is banned from sending super chats. Can I be unbanned? Love the stream. Any good movies come in August? Red lights. Mr. Death 27. I'll check it out, Master Buddy. If you get banned, it's probably a good reason. It's probably a good reason. Kevin also says, did they release the new Spider-Man suit? They did not release the full suit yet. I really thought maybe they would release it tonight, but it looks like it might be a tomorrow thing. We'll see. Omar Matthias says, what main villains do you think the next trilogy of Spider-Man films should lead up to? Also, what is your most anticipated DC film? The thing that they should lead up to, see, it's like they've already done their Spider-Verse event. So it should be like Sinister Six. I think Green Goblin, just his Green Goblin might be big enough. Him and Venom, because that's something they were teasing and they never got around to do. Miles Morales would be the top choice, though. Payne Rourke says, hear me out. I don't want a sequel to Sinners, but with all the success, they might make one. Hear me out. The generation music scene has it be vampires going after that generation. I don't want a sequel. I think Ryan Coogler has like changed his mind. He's like, maybe, but I don't think it'll be done. Ryan will move on to other stuff, get too busy, and I think Sinners will be the thing where they make a sequel like in 20 years. Not even kidding. Lex says, been watching since Willy's Wonderland. Much love. I miss the Willy's Wonderland days. How did they not make Willy's Wonderland 2? Adventures with Parker and Dad says, what hair products do you use? It's always on point. I don't know if it's always on point, but I've always said I use Sexy Hair Pomade. Not even a sponsor, nothing like that. Literally, it's this one. That's what I use. I like it because it still lets me fluff my hair. Because I hated products that like I can't touch my hair. When I was in high school, I hated that I did this. When I was in high school, I used Moco de Gorilla. Who remembers that? Anybody remembers Moco de Gorilla? It would smell good, dude. I just want to squeeze it and go. It was good. I never did it, but I'd use the yellow bottle. And that stuff, dude, it was like putting Elmer's glue in your hair. Once you got it up, oh, dude, it'd be rock hard all day. You would not be able to move it, touch it. It was also the kind of thing where if you did move it too much, your hair would start flaking and it would look like you have dandruff. You get white stuff coming out. But that was my go-to when I was in high school. I have no idea why, but now this is just what I stick to. It's just simple, does the job, and yeah. Matthew Correa says Doom kills Peter in Doomsday, leading to the symbiote bringing him back to life. Post-credit scene and recreating the cover of Kraven's Last Hunt. I see where you could go with that. It wouldn't be bad. I don't think Sony would allow any Spider-Man movie to end with the idea that he died. They're just not gonna do that. Indigo says Spider-Man Alone teaser dropped. Are you following it? What is Spider-Man Alone? I've never heard of Spider-Man Alone. This is like a fan film. It's a TV series type thing. I'm not following it, but that's pretty cool. I'll check that out on my spare time. I don't want to support or anything without knowing who's behind it, because if I did that for Spider-Man Lotus, would not have been good people to back up. But okay. That is the final super chatty, my friend. We are finished. We are done. I want to thank all of you so much for being here and watching it. Let's end it with the way we began it. Some balls. You guys have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. If Spider-Man content does end up dropping, your boy will be there. Just know if anything drops on Sunday, not going to be able to. Your boy's going to be very busy, and you'll hear me talk about it then on Monday. So if something does happen Sunday, just know that's where I'm at. But other than that, guys, love y'all faces. Y'all are fantastic. Stay good. See y'all.